Gaza Strip into southern Israel.
It's the first that we've seen in a while. Sirens sounding here, sending thousands to bomb shelters. And quite remarkable that 38 days into this conflict, the Israelis are still facing rocket fire from Gaza. There are sirens sounding in the city of Tel Aviv. That is Israel's second largest city. An indication that Hamas and Islamic Jihad still have long-range rockets that they are using against major population centers.
Fox's Trey Yingst in southern Israel. America is listening to Fox News.
Everybody needs an edge. The other guy is working on his edge right now, whether you have one or not. Testosterone levels are at an all-time low historically, and individual T levels in men decline 1% every year with age. There's a new champion of natural testosterone boosters, and it's called CHOQ, C-H-O-Q. 100% natural herbal extracts with game-changing effects on your energy, mood, and focus. CHOQ Daily's main ingredient has been clinically studied to boost testosterone 20% in 90 days. Supercharge your masculinity with higher T and a massive boost of energy by taking CHOQ's Male Vitality Stack every day. Take the 90-day CHOQ Challenge and reap the benefits of the reigning champion of natural men's health with CHOQ's Male Vitality Stack. For a very limited time only, CHOQ, C-H-O-Q, is giving our listeners a 30% discount with promo code USA. That's CHOQ.com, code USA, for 30% off while supplies last.
Look out. That's right. Bad time to chew a mint. Idiot. 303. Well, Pete distracted me. I got 303. How's it going? It's only me. It's only the Kimmer.
On the day I was born,
with Pete Davis, sidekick producer, sports raconteur extraordinaire, and the mechanical mangler at the controls, Flounder. Flounder, how's it going, sir? You everybody all right in there?
Good weekend. Everything is all swell on my end.
Excellent. Anything we can share with the little people?
No, nothing too exciting. Just kind of a nice, relaxing weekend.
Excellent. And Pete Davis.
I just got a phone call.
Yeah.
And I go, hello, and the person coughs and then sneezes and hangs up.
Really?
I hate these cold calls.
Ladies and gentlemen, I feel obligated to... Jeez, fuck God. Hey, 304. Oh, Lord. Well, that's what it's going to be. Let's just say it. It's Monday, and what the hell? My refrigerator conked out on Saturday. So I got my food's all rotten. It's all gone. I've got my buckets full of freaking ice that I bought at the gas station or whatever. It's a nightmare. And what am I going to eat? And it's just a nightmare. I'll bet I threw out 200 pounds of well, maybe not, probably not that much, probably 100 pounds of frozen stuff because I have the same meal almost all the time, and now I've got to start over again. And the guy's not coming till tomorrow, so I have 4 days of no refrigerator.
200? What are you, an Eskimo hoarding blubber meat for the winter?
I have almost no food in the refrigerator. The actual refrigerator part, the only thing I usually keep in there are water bottles and sodas and butter, mayonnaise, cheese, and English muffins that I can,
maybe
stuff
get
like
yourself some fruits and veggies in there. Or,
No, there's no fruits or veggies in the area there. No, but in the freezer, I like these little. They're called chicken fries, and I don't know if they're Purdue or one of the big ones. And they look like French fries, and they're chicken strips basically. And I had that with my mashed potatoes and gravy, and my stomach loves it. It's tasty, easy to make, and I use my flounder fryer. What do you call it? My hot fryer, flash fryer, air fryer, and it takes 8 minutes. Bing bang pow. So and it's delicious. I have a great meal every night. I don't get bored with it. I'm happier. Well, now it's all gone. And the problem is the store doesn't have them. I go to Publix like 4 days a week doing stuff, and usually they don't have them. They're like every couple of weeks. So when they have them, I buy the big bags. I buy several bags. Well, they're gone now. And all the other stuff I had frozen is all gone. Anyway, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be belittling my thing. But the guy's not coming till tomorrow. So I'm going to get home tonight, and I'll try to have peanut butter and tuna fish, so I'm good for that. And I put my mayonnaise and butter and stuff in a container of ice. So,
go to a steakhouse and get yourself a nice steak.
No, it's too late. By the time I get home, and then I got to...
Yeah, you get home at 6:45?
Well, no, but it's just, it's too much, It's a long day. By the time I get home, I don't feel like going out. I mean, it's already been 12 and 13 hours, man. I just don't feel like going out.
So you go somewhere before you go home.
Don't go home.
Right. Well, I don't know. I who cares? It doesn't. It's just
Stop
it's
and
only
pick
me.
you up a meal on the way home.
Well, I should. Well, I could do that, except on the way home, because there are no places to stop and pick up
real
meals.
quick.
Whole Foods,
do
Trader
this
Joe's.
today.
What's that?
Off Old Milton Parkway.
Yeah.
Take a left, and Avalon is right there, and there's a Whole Foods right there, and they have 3 hot bars full of great food.
Yeah, and you know why I'm not going to go there? Because there's no parking.
There's plenty of parking.
That's
Whole
a nightmare.
Foods.
It's an Avalon play. You can't get in there. And it's got those little teeny freaking alleyway, driveway roads. You can't tell if you're on a road or somebody's freaking entrance to a building. I mean, it's unbelievable. And you can't. I'm not going to those decks. Those parking decks are a nightmare. So
The Whole Foods has its own parking lot.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a different story.
It is. Or you can just go home and chew on your washed out blubber in the nook. You're dried out.
I'm not worried. I could, it's not. It's just a thing. And in fact, I was so upset emotionally. I mean, I'm doing stress eating. I gained 3 pounds this weekend.
Good.
That's good. That's good.
Which is good for me. I weigh almost as much as I did in 7th grade now, I think. Anyway, so it's no big deal. I mean, it's just another thing. I've got 3 or 4 things at the plate I got to fix up, and I'm avoiding. It's not, then I have to stay around, and tomorrow I got to wait there for the guy to fix it and stuff. And I'm trying to work and come in. I mean, it's just a nightmare. It's a freaking nightmare. So here we go. But in fact, you know what? In fact, I'm going to do something. Well, first of all, let me start over. I'm sorry. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. It's Monday. There's a lot of newsy stuff going on here. I want to a little bit of sports thing here in a minute before we take our first Cowabunga break. President Stupid has done it again. Can't remember who he is or who he works for. The Secret Service shooting at a car that the 3 guys tried to break into and didn't hit anybody. Were they really far away? And if so, if they're really far away, why were they shooting at a guy breaking into their car a long way away? Because he's breaking into the car so you can shoot him? I mean, can you do that now? Anyway, and why didn't they hit him? I mean, the whole thing is making me real, and they're not saying much about it. So, which is fine. Okay. Also, you're going to, they've released the body cam footage and audio of Felicia Franklin, the county commissioner, the Clayton County commissioner, who was drunk and sloppy and throwing up and peeing her pants. Oh, allegedly my ass. It's on video.
Yeah. It's on video.
You can see her screaming at the paramedics.
She's literally passed out on a curb.
Yeah, Flounder just got
the police come to try and help her.
Yeah, she's lying in a puddle of
As
her
your
own
attorney,
puke.
I advise you to say
Anyway, also the elementary school in the state of Washington that decided to replace Veterans Day with United Nations Peace Assembly.
Oh, please.
Also, the non-binary, transgender, non-thing extravaganza Macy's Day Parade. We'll talk about that coming up. Wisconsin says, at least one community says, no, you have to avoid Christmas decorations that have red and green in them. We want to be a little more inclusive because people are so offended by Christmas.
Now,
Swear to God.
You've done a story dissing Veterans Day. You got a story dissing Christmas.
Yeah.
Who
and
did
Macy's
it?
Day Parade.
Both times. No, without the Macy's. Those other 2 stories?
Yeah.
Teachers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And speaking of teachers, wait to hear about, by the way, Pete's going to give us a lesson in British politics and what the hell's going on in London. Oh, my God.
They've lost.
Holy cow.
They imported their invaders, and now they've capitulated.
And now they're screwed. Also, the lady who got saved by a guy on the subway platform who fired his gun at a guy who was trying to rob her and stuff, the guy got arrested. The woman says, well, he's a hero, but I wish he didn't have a gun. Come on, lady. You can't have it both ways. Also, really quickly, a couple of things. We're going to tell you about the illegal immigrants who got bused to Chicago are now saying, we don't like it here. We don't have any jobs. We don't have a place to live. We don't want to be homeless living on the streets in the wintertime in Chicago. We want to go home. And the same thing in New York City. This is hysterical. They opened up this new tent community, and all the people from Venezuela showed up and said, no, this isn't going to work. We don't want, this isn't, we're in the middle of nowhere. How are we supposed to work? No, we're about to go back to Venezuela. So they're demanding they get tickets to go back home. Okay, New York and Chicago, sanctuary cities, screaming liberals running everything, and this immigration program, well, you wanted them, you got them, baby, and even they're saying, no, this is ridiculous. Anyway, I've got a million stories like that, too. Racist astrology clouds. or astronomy. What do you call this
Astronomy.
thing? Astronomy, Magellanic clouds after Magellan. Oh, we can't name things after Magellan now. I'm sorry.
We can.
No. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. 311 with the Kimmer and Pete and Flounder. A couple of quick things. I got a couple of nice messages here. One kind of came from out of the blue. And it was from Vicky, and who's one of our fans, loves our show. And she says, Kimmer just saw this rerun of Family Feud with Precious Cara. Thought you and Pete and Flounder would like to know what episode and year it was. It was on played on TV. Season 15, episode 140, 2014. Season 15, episode 140, the year 2014. Cara and the whole crew on TV on Family Feud. Anyway, he said, boy, we sure do miss her. Yes, we surely do. And one more quick thing, if you don't mind. It's kind of personal, and I feel a little funny about it, and I won't give her a name or anything, but first name is Marilyn. She sent me a text over the weekend, and I was having a really bad weekend. I mean, it's just for a lot of things. And I got this message, and it just made me feel so much better. She said, I never thanked you for a message you left on my husband's phone 2 years ago. One of your biggest fans. We used to see you. You posed for a picture with us. He was not doing well. He got sick and went into the hospital. And a friend of his named, the friend was Philip Wigington, and her husband was Dickie. And she said he was in the hospital, and his friend said, I know he's a big fan of yours. Would you call and talk to him? And I called and left him a message about fighting on and so forth. Did a little Marine Corps stuff like this, kind of goofing around to make him feel better. And his widow says she was just replaying his messages on his phone from 2 years ago, and heard my message to her husband, and it kind of floored her, and it's flooring me to think about. I responded to her saying how sweet that was. I don't remember the words, but I remember making the call. I remember very well making the call. And I hope you're having a happy memory right now, sweet lady. And that was very nice. It made me feel better, and I hope you don't mind that I shared that with you, because I wrote back to her, little things count. The little things count.
One for Monday.
And I'm not crying. I'm not crying. I am not weeping in any way. You got that freaking tear off of there, mister. You got the Kimmer cry list going on here now. My God, 314. The Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder.
National conflicts running hot and Israel at war. You can trust Extra 106.3 to bring you the latest breaking news throughout the day and the conservative voices you trust for all the latest.
Hamas is a terrorist organization, and anybody who supports the terrorist attack on Israel should be released from this country and sent away.
Israel at war, with live updates all day.
If 9/11 happened to us again today, I wonder what the hell the reaction would be.
From Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
You want a killer Black Friday deal? I got one for you. Free Moto G 5G phone from Pure Talk. No gimmicks, no trade-in necessary. Just sign up for Pure Talk's unlimited talk, unlimited text, and 15 gig data plan for just $35 and get the Moto G 5G phone for free. But here's the deal. You need to move fast because these phones will be gone by the end of the month. So if your current phone is on life support, upgrade for free with Pure Talk. Enjoy 2-day battery life, an exceptional quad-pixel camera, and a whole lot more. Just dial pound 250 and say keyword SAVE NOW to speak with Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team. They make switching so easy and will make sure you get your new phone. Remember, Pure Talk gives you America's most dependable 5G network at half the price. So make the switch today. Dial pound 250 and say keyword SAVE NOW to claim your free Moto G 5G phone with qualifying plan. Pure Talk. Simply smarter wireless.
Black men are the most likely Americans to die from lung cancer, and black people develop the disease earlier in life than others. Federal guidelines have nearly doubled the number of black Americans eligible for lung cancer screening. Insurance companies are required to cover these tests for those ages 50 to 80 who smoke or used to smoke. If that's you, talk to a doctor about lung cancer screening. For more information and to find a screening center near you, visit acr.org/mylcs. That's acr.org/mylcs.
Furnished by American College of Radiology.
Fox on Tech.
We've told you about the marvels of Elon Musk's Starlink, the SpaceX project to fill the sky with satellites that can deliver high-speed internet service to anywhere on the planet. Starlink has been operating already in Ukraine as a way for emergency communications to happen, even with the destruction of ground-based internet infrastructure. Musk even courted controversy by agreeing to provide emergency internet in Gaza, though he later clarified he'd make sure he wasn't allowing terrorists to use it. But Musk now has competition in the space-based internet space. Jeff Bezos of Amazon fame has launched his first round of test satellites for Project Kuiper, named after the ring of objects beyond the solar system. Amazon reports the satellites are controlling their orbit and working just as designed. Some operational satellites could begin testing the service next year. With Fox on Tech, I'm Eben Brown, Fox News.
For the latest coverage of Israel at war, keep it right here on Extra 106.3 for Fox News updates at the top of every hour and the conservative voices you trust bringing you the latest.
We'll give them up if you stop the bombing. No. We're going to continue the bombing until you give them up.
To negotiate in any shape, form, or fashion would show vulnerability.
They're negotiating from fear.
And stream our coverage anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
A whim away, baby, a whim away. Oh, mercy, here we go. It's the old kind of rock and roll, my friends, with the Kira Pete and Flounder.
Rock and roll?
What did I say? Oh, yeah, this is rock and roll. This is rock and roll.
This is not rock and roll.
It's rock and roll in 1961. What do you think they called it? They didn't call it pop. It was rock and roll.
I don't think you can call this rock and roll.
I'm sorry, that's all there was.
There's not even a guitar playing.
There was big band, classical, soul,
Dixieland, blues, jazz.
Yeah, and then rock and roll.
Ragtime.
And that's it.
We just named 7.
They didn't have adult contemporary. They didn't have pop. There was rock and roll or not rock and roll. And this was rock and roll.
They had top 40.
Not in 1960. Well, I guess they counted down the top 40. But still, again, this is 1961. You're thinking of 1978 and stuff.
Well, no, because Hendrix was in the 60s, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That's rock and roll.
Well, 68. Yeah, he was in the hippie, the late 60s. In the Vietnam War stuff, yeah.
When was this?
This is 1961.
So the early 60s. Right when the Beatles were coming around, because the Beatles came on in 62.
62, yeah.
Well, not...
And they were rock and roll. The Beatles were rock and roll.
Exactly.
Well,
this is not rock and roll.
Elvis was around in the 50s.
Well, yeah, that's true. Well, anyway, on this day 2 years ago, 21, Phil Mango. Is that Margo or Mango? I got it.
Let's go with Mango.
Let's go with Margo. Phil Margo, American musician, died at the age of 79, a longtime member of the Tokens, with his brother Mitch, best known for their hit recording of The Lion Sleeps Tonight, 1961. Well, there you go. Anyway, a quick birthday of note. Let's see here. Jimmy Kimmel. 56 today. Well, he used to be, if they'd go back to the old...
Yeah, he was funny when he was offensive.
He was. Did he do the Man Show?
He did the Man Show.
That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. When he would have that 13-year-old kid going up to girls saying, ask them to take their top off. I mean, I thought I was going to wet my pants. He's at the beach, and he goes up to a couple of chicks in bikinis and wants them to buy him a beer. And he says, hey, baby, what are you doing later? And they start laughing. It was hysterical. Girls on trampoline. I mean, silly stuff. But it was funny. I mean, the attitude was, what the hell? Let's just goof around and have some fun. It wasn't offensive. It was offensive, but it was fun bawdy. It wasn't disgusting or disgraceful or anything else. It was just fun radio, fun television stuff. And, anyway.
Now he's woke.
And now, they had to be, I guess.
During the pandemic, he was one of those saying, all you guys out there taking that horse glue, you don't deserve to get a hospital bed.
It's unbelievable.
Spreading
and by the way, how they, well, again, these guys, what is their background? He doesn't have like a PhD in philosophy or something, right? I mean, he's people who flunked out of high school and never went to college. He's just guys.
Well-connected
wise guys, yeah. Anyway, Jimmy Kimmel is whatever you said he was. And on this day in 1946, skiers at Mount Greylock, Massachusetts were amazed by inventor Vincent Schaefer's new creation, artificial snow. I've been there many times. In fact, I used to go night skiing. You ever been night skiing? Are you a skier?
I've snowboarded, but I've never skied.
A Flounder, you're probably not a skier, being you're a lifelong Southern guy, right? Yeah. But
right, never been skiing. I skied down my driveway when it snowed. That's the only time I've ever skied.
Yeah, well, it's definitely...
So if we went skiing, I could laugh at you like you guys laughed at me on the golf course.
We never laughed at you. We supported you. Anyway, that's why I almost got killed with the girl who died on me at Aspen.
I want to take both of you surfing once, and we'll see how that goes.
No, I'm definitely drowned in that. There's no question about it. Especially now, I think my balance is a little weak, at this stage. Hell, I fell off the last horse I was riding a year ago.
And it was
sitting
still.
And he was standing there.
People realize how difficult it is to get up on a wave.
It is extremely hard.
Impossible.
No, it's not impossible. It's just
you just have
damn
to know
near
how
impossible.
And you have to be risky enough to get and do the balance and hope you don't fall off while you're trying to get up there. I mean, that's. I've been on surfboards, but I've never tried to stand up in a big wave. But I have ridden surfboards when I was on my R&R in Hawaii, in fact. But I never tried to stand up on a surfboard in the big wave.
And every time you go out there, you increase the odds that that's the time you're going to run against you know who.
Yeah, Sharky.
Bruce. No, not.
Yeah. Yeah, not good. 323, how's it going? By the way, here's our phone number. We love phone calls. Happy Monday. Let me put this over here where I know what it is, but I just like to have it where I can see it. 404-741. Sit down, Danny. 404-74. The question you have to ask yourself right now, Danny, is what do you stand for? 404-741-1230. 741-1230. How was your weekend? What's up? We got a lot of stuff in the news. We'll talk about Muslim stuff and political stuff and all kinds of things, including President Stupid Face has done it again. Oh, my God, today. President Stupid Face at the White House was honoring the Stanley Cup winning Vegas Golden Knights. Is that from last year? Obviously, last year. They're still just started playing, right?
Yeah.
A couple of months, a week ago. Sure. Sorry. I've had a bad weekend. Monday event today at the White House, honoring the standards of the spot. We didn't get any sound of that, right?
I didn't find any, not yet.
But here's what this is unbelievable. We may get him actually saying it later. Quote, "Welcome to the White House, the 2023 Stanley Cup champion Vegas Golden Knights," said President Stupid Face, who turns 81 shortly. "President Harris is here to make sure we do this the right way." President Harris.
Mm-hmm. This after Veterans Day when he didn't know where to go.
Did you see the video? Oh, my God. How many times does he not know where he is? Can you imagine Donald Trump turning around and walking around to wonder what to do next? God, I can't freaking believe it. It's unbelievable. David Axelrod again said yesterday, Biden's public remarks are a major concern for Democrats. Every time he opens his face and goes somewhere, critics are accusing him of being in mental decline. Duh.
All right, I found the audio.
Oh, here we go. Check this out.
President Harris is here to make sure we do this the right way.
Oh my God, he's just mumbling it. It's like he doesn't. I mean, it's not. It's just like wrote. I wonder if somebody wrote it on a card, like the Anchorman. If you write it, he'll say it. I wonder if somebody wrote it just for kicks to see it. Oh my God! I'll bet his own staff is doing this to him to see how funny it is when he did it again. You owe me $50. I bet they have like $4 every time he put a
How many times has he called her the president?
Oh my God! Too many. David Axelrod yesterday. Remember last week he said he really needs to make a decision about stepping down. It's too dangerous. He said David Axelrod, the chief President Putty Tats major guy and a huge Democrat insider, quote, "In front of the camera, what he's projecting is causing people concerns, and that is worrisome. 71% of swing state voters say he's too old and can't be effective. 30-something say the same thing of Trump." And by the way, for the record, I saw Bernie Marcus being interviewed the other day over the weekend. I think one of the business things, I can't remember what it was. Anyway, Bernie Marcus, and I saw just a minute of it. And here's Bernie Marcus And he was very strong and forceful and active and assertive. And he said, I'm supporting Donald Trump. And I think I forgot whether he talked about, forget the mean tweets, whatever. But in terms of being a president, what Donald Trump did as president, he said we need to get back to what Donald Trump did as president, which is why Bernie Marcus is supporting Donald Trump and endorsing Donald Trump for president again. And he says the problem is, this is Bernie Marcus speaking, if we keep going down this path, America is done. America is doomed. America is over. Bernie Marcus saying that. Probably one of the most optimistic, positive doers and get-doner guys in the world.
Built the world's largest aquarium.
I mean, my God. The man, this is, the Home Depot billionaire, the founder, the doer, the accomplisher, the make-it-happener guy. He's also 94 years old. And if you saw him interviewed and then compared to President walks around, doesn't know where he is, oh, my God. Bernie Marcus is 94 and sharp as a tack. And we get this guy. Oh, my God. He got lost again over the weekend. It's astounding. What do we think?
It's a Home Depot.
It's a Home Depot song.
The Home Depot song.
Can I be the listening voiceover guy? We have a sale on scissors on aisle 9, on aisle 6. Clean up on aisle 6.
A little help in hardware.
There was a video, it was a couple months old, but a band went into Home Depot and played this song while they were shopping. They actually had all their instruments on a cart and were playing this song.
How cool is that?
But that guy drives me crazy. The voiceover guy, he talks like this, comes to the Home Depot.
Oh,
I mean, come on, man.
Yeah,
he's an actor.
Well, of course he is.
Yeah, but why would they pick the guy with the...
Why would you have a list? Here's another thing.
And by the way, not that there's anything wrong with it.
There isn't broadcasting.
But if you're an announcer, you would think...
It drives me crazy.
It's like being a weird accent. You would,
To have a list and someone say, you know what you should do? You should be in broadcast. There are 3 guys who do play-by-play in Major League Baseball. Yeah. The guy for Houston is like Snagglepuss.
Yeah.
The guy is second base. Exit stage left. Run it all the way.
His name's Josh Lucas. He was the... you remember the movie Ford versus Ferrari?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He was the corporate guy everybody hated. Remember the guy that he locked in the room and then went and drove the car around?
I don't remember.
I don't understand why someone with a lisp is told they should be in broadcasting. Okay, that's fine, but it drives me crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Well,
the guy who does Oakland has one, and there's another one that has a list.
You're not supposed to recognize that as the thing you're concentrating on. It destroys the broadcast. It takes away from what the event is. So. By the way, speaking of sports, we got more political stuff, including how did the Secret Service miss a guy they're shooting at? The Secret Service? Anyway, we'll get to that in a second. And we still don't know much about this. I made the mistake. Sunday evening, I said, I texted Flounder and Pete, and I said, what the hell? I'm going to watch the last 2 minutes of the Falcons game. And son of a gun, it wasn't 30 seconds later.
They did it again.
And I wrote back, yup. Unbelievable.
I'm going to talk about it in sports. There are constants in our lives.
Yes.
And one of them is the Atlanta Falcons.
In fact, Tom Hughes, the king, just something like, it's good to see that the same old thing, something about continuing our streak in America, or things we can count on, or I forgot what it was. It's so clever. And by the way, also, how would you, Flounder, do you know this information? And Pete, do you know, when they fire us here, how many millions do we get? If they tell us to stop working, the payout. When they fire us, what's the payout? How many millions do we get?
We'll probably owe them.
Because I know that Jimbo
Bags
Fisher
of cash.
has got. There'll
be a big cash bag with an S thrown on it and 2 lines down.
Is that the same thing we get?
Yeah,
when they fire,
Jimbo Fisher.
They pay us some millions to go away. All right, well, that's coming up next with the Carrot, Pete, and Flounder, 3:30. And
when I die, I want to come back. Or when I grow up, I want to come back as a fired football coach.
Holy moly. Unreal. Anyway, 3:30, look out.
The Morning Extra is the right way to start your day. And here's what you missed.
You'll pay $12,000 to save a dog.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's the truth. My uncle just spent $5,000.
Yeah.
For the second time.
Do you know how many shotguns you could get for that dog?
The Morning Extra. Now every morning from 6 to 10 a.m. Only on Extra 106.3.
Braves fans, have you been to Threads at the Battery Atlanta? This new Braves retail location features bold, fashion-forward Braves merchandise with bright colors and trendy styles. This is your place for a new, elevated Braves look with styles for men, women, and kids. Parking is available at the Red Deck in the Battery Atlanta with easy access to the store. Start your holiday shopping now at Threads. Follow at Braves Threads on Instagram for updates and store hours.
If you've experienced high levels of humidity in your home at times during this past year, you may want to consider installing a whole house dehumidifier. Hey, it's Tug for Central Heating and Air. A whole house dehumidifier can also make your home more comfortable and energy efficient while protecting your home's contents. You can even improve your health, fighting viruses, bacteria, mold, and other airborne pollutants that thrive in excessively damp conditions. A dehumidifier will protect your home. It helps prevent mold, termites, structural wood rot, and odors in sealed crawl spaces. You can even save energy. Balanced humidity prevents your air conditioner or furnace from working overtime, saving you money on future energy costs. Plus, there's no messy water tray to empty. Set it and forget it. With Central Heating and Air Conditioning, you get Carrier products, Carrier warranty, and Carrier peace of mind. Turn to Central, your Atlantic Carrier expert. Call 770-GET-HEAT or visit centralheat.com. That's 770-GET-HEAT or centralheat.com.
Hey, it's Lowe's here with my real estate expert, Rhonda Duffy of Duffy Realty of Atlanta. Rhonda, how has Duffy made the buying and selling process this efficient without overcharging your clients?
When you list your home with Duffy Realty, you're paying an unheard of listing commission of 0.0088 of the sales price versus the ridiculous 6% listing commission. If there's no buyer's agent, there's no buyer's agent's commission, so you keep more money in your pocket. We do the same marketing with more rights and proven results. You can sell at an even higher price. Sell, rent, or lease purchase at the same time. The option is your choice. You can have transparent communication between all parties. That equals control of your transaction. And we have skilled negotiation with over 42,000 successfully closed homes. If you want an option to make more money and ask a high price, Duffy Realty.
If you're buying or selling a home, do it on your terms and save the most money with Duffy Realty. DuffyRealtyATL.com.
Duffy Realty ATL.
So, you conquered the hardest part. You found the one, got approval from the family, shopped for the engagement ring, and you popped the question. Nice job. But you're not done. Now it's time to plan the wedding, pick the dress, pick your tux, plan the honeymoon, and find the wedding bands. Well, you're in luck because Wedding Band Weekend is back at Solomon Brothers Jewelers, November 17th through the 19th. Now is the perfect time to stop in and shop all of the top brands in the industry. You'll find the ring of her dreams at Solomon Brothers Jewelers. And here's the best part. During Wedding Band Weekend, when you purchase her ring, you'll get your ring for free. So don't miss Wedding Band Weekend, November 17th through the 19th in Buckhead and Alpharetta. And at Solomon Brothers, no matter the price, you'll find something nice. So visit us today on Peachtree Road in Buckhead and on Old Milton Parkway in Alpharetta. You can also shop online at SolomonBrothers.com or on Instagram at Solomon Brothers.
This is The Kimmer Show. Back on the air every afternoon until 6 p.m. And be here for more conservative talk tomorrow morning on your ride to work with Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3.
Look out, 3:35 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Happy Monday. Already in the middle of November. How is it even hot? Thanksgiving is next week.
College football.
Possible?
Yeah, college football is almost over.
That's not right. Anyway, here's a little Leon Russell. We'll play a little Leon there for you, fun. Leon Russell died on this day in 2016 in Nashville. He was 74. He led Joe Cocker's band, Mad Dogs and Englishmen. Appeared at George Harrison's 1971 concert for Bangladesh. Many of his songs became hits for other people, Leon Russell. Among them, Superstar, written with Bonnie Bramlett for the Carpenters. Delta Lady for Joe Cocker, and This Masquerade for George Benson. More than 100 acts have recorded a song for you. which Russell said he wrote in 10 minutes.
It's a beautiful song. You ever heard this song?
I don't remember this.
It'll make you cry.
A song for you?
Ray Charles did it too.
Leon does it.
Is this it here?
Yeah.
Let's play this.
Acted out my love in stages with 10,000 people watching. But we're alone now and I'm singing this song to you. I know your image of me is what I hope to be.
I don't think I've ever heard this song.
It ends at the end. The note at the end ends like, unlike most songs end. You think that's going to end this way, then it ends in another note. And you're like, oh.
Can you get to that? Is it possible to go to the ending, or is that impossible on this thing?
It's just a different way you would expect.
Yeah, because
the
you're
song
waiting
to
for
go.
one more note to play after that
And
one.
it goes up.
Huh.
Yeah.
And that's Leon Russell.
Yep.
I'll be darned.
He was
Died
on
in
the Nitty Gritty
2016.
Dirt Band, did a song called Joshua Come Home from the Island, and it's just a great song.
Huh.
Great song.
I'll be darned. Let's see. This guy's name you may not know. Neil Flynn, 63. If you ever watch the TV series Scrubs, he was that weird janitor.
Oh, yeah.
A great role.
And he was in the middle.
He was Mike Heck in The Middle, the janitor on Scrubs, and Lindsay Lohan's father in Mean Girls.
Huh.
But the janitor thing in Scrubs, I never ever watched that when it was on, and only like in the last year, and I see that it's hysterical. What a great show! Yeah. That was the little hot blonde chick and the hot black chick, and with the black guy that married. I mean, it's just hysterical.
In the middle was funny, and his brother was Norm Macdonald.
I never watched Alfie Dan. Neil Flynn is the name of 63. Let's see. On our history note today, 1940. The U.S. Army got a look at a prototype vehicle they wanted. They needed four-wheel drive, an open-air cab, and a rifle rack mounted under the windshield. The company that made it, the Willis Overland Company, got the okay, and mass production began when the war began the next year in 1941. By 1945, they had made 600,000 of the Jeeps, the Willys Jeep. The Willis actually is pronounced Jeep.
Jeep.
I had one that I gave to my daughter on Marine Corps birthday when I had my heart attack. And I was driving a Jeep, and I gave it to her to drive back to Pennsylvania. As it turned out, and anyway, have you ever driven a mini Jeep? Have you ever seen a mini Jeep?
Well, when I was over in England, they had Steve McQueen's from the movie. They had his there, yeah.
Well, I've actually driven them, and they made specifically. I think they're all World War II surplus, and they're Jeeps, but they're like half the size. I mean,
they're small. They came in a box.
Yeah.
You could put them together.
Yeah, you could buy them. Yeah. You can still go on the internet and buy a World War II Jeep,
and it comes in a box.
Send it to you in a box.
The gas tank is underneath the driver's seat.
I mean, it's unbelievable. And I'll tell you, the first, and I remember anyway, it doesn't matter, but they're pretty cool. All right, here we go. 339, Kim, Repeat, and Flounder. 404-741-1230. 404-741-1230. Let's see, there was one more thing I wanted to mention to you beforehand. The Hobby Lobby commercial. Here we just talked about. I noticed first time this morning, leaving the house at my place. I live in a townhome cul-de-sac community, and Christmas lights are up. Some of our neighbors are Christmas. Usually it's after Thanksgiving. Isn't that the rule?
No, Atlanta. In Atlanta, the tradition is Thanksgiving night. You turn everything on.
Yeah, we have one in our living room right now.
Oh, a lit tree?
That's wrong.
Wow, already? Now,
Veronica was very adamant about go ahead and getting.
Well, I think you just do whatever she says.
What about Thanksgiving?
Okay. I believe the answer is yes, dear. Good question.
What about Thanksgiving?
Right again, my darling.
You got to put your foot down now, Flounder.
Stop.
Or it's over.
I say on Thanksgiving is when you start doing the ornaments and things like that.
She's gonna want presents by Thanksgiving.
If you don't put your foot down now,
no,
it's over. You got to set the precedent.
No, not yet.
In Atlanta, because of the lighting of the great tree down at Rich's downtown, you put the lights outside and you put the lights on the tree, but you don't turn them on until Thanksgiving night.
All right, but it's already.
And then you trim the tree that weekend.
Oh my God!
It's tradition in Atlanta.
We had to do a fake one because of the cat.
That's right.
That's right. The cats will go
be everywhere.
So
anyway, once again, the correct answer is right again, my darling.
I'm sorry.
Exactly what I was hoping, my sweet angel. Yeah, 341. But it's holiday season, and already I know you mentioned this the other day, and I had not seen it. Now I've seen it. The Hobby Lobby commercial
with the nurse mother.
Yeah, and it's a short commercial. I'm surprised I haven't. The minute one would make you bawl out loud. I'm sure. And it's a hardworking. I guess she's a nurse. We see she's a nurse or hospital
single
worker, single mother, and she comes home from a hard day at work, and she sees all this stuff around. She has got to do laundry and dishes, and everything. The house is a mess and everything. And then I guess she's got to go back to work. And I forgot how we know that, but it's clear she has a split shift or something. And then you see her sort of half deadbeat teenage son who's kind of lounging around. And then does he see her walk out again? I'm trying to remember.
He gets up after she's gone. He's eating breakfast, and he looks down, and there's the pile of clothes, and the dishes stacked up, and he goes, "Oh God!"
Yeah, and he takes care of it. He decorates the tree, and he does all the laundry. And she comes home and.
And they don't talk about the Publix commercials. They don't hold a candle to this one.
Oh, I beg to differ. If they play this one this year, I'm gonna watch it, and because I'm gonna deserve a good cry. And I will say this one more time. The story. I'm not gonna cry. You can put it off that board. Do not put the camera crying board. I'm not crying. The story is Mommy and Daddy and a little girl in their kitchen, and Mommy says to the little girl, "You know who's coming tonight? It's Friday. It's Christmas Eve." It's Christmas Eve. And Mommy says, "Do you know who's coming tonight?" She says, yeah, let's make cookies. So they're making cookies, and they're all happy, and because it's special, it's New Year, it's Christmas Eve, and you guys saying so they're all happy and then they're making the cookies, and all of a sudden the doorbell rings, and the little girl says, he's here. And Mommy and Daddy say, "No, Santa's not here." And she runs to the door, and she says, "Grandpa!" And it's her grandfather. And that one really got me last year.
That's why I put the thing up
really
there.
got me last year. Anyway, so 'tis the season. But the Hobby Lobby one, if you haven't seen it, it's pretty good. I mean, it's very well done. Anyway, okay, 343. Secret Service, again, this was about midnight last night, Georgetown neighborhood, D.C. area. Secret Service agents see 3 guys breaking a window on their parked SUV, their undercover Secret Service SUV. At the time, they were guarding Naomi Biden, who's the 29-year-old eldest daughter of Hunter and his ex-wife, who he was cheating on with his dead brother's widow. Anyway, she's 29 years. Is she the one that got the money from Uncle Ceausescu in Romania? How about that's a granddaughter got the money for the take and the graft. Anyway, so they're in Georgetown. They see 3 guys breaking a window. So one of the Secret Service agents opens fire. And the story says it is believed no one was struck. Well, how could we mean it was believed? It's been 15 hours or whatever it's been. I mean, come on. We don't know. And why would they shoot if a guy's breaking a window in a car? If he's close enough to see him doing it, how could he miss? And if he's far enough away to see some guy, why would you shoot a guy from 100 yards across the street if he's breaking on your window? I mean, I would. I mean, sure, I think it's a wonderful idea, but you'd think, that you can't just. I mean, I thought you couldn't get away with that kind of thing.
I have a theory.
What?
That the Secret Service is just as incompetent as the FBI.
Well, I don't know what's going on, but this doesn't make any sense.
Shoot first, ask questions later.
And by the way, car thefts and carjackings in Washington, D.C. are up 800%.
Stop! Blam! We're all shoot.
We're all shoot. We're all blam. Call the police blam. I mean, it's unbelievable. I don't get it. How did they miss, and how far were they, and why did they assume they had to shoot a guy breaking in the window? Now, again, it was a Secret Service vehicle, but still, their lives weren't in danger, unless maybe they thought they were planning a bomb. I don't know.
She left a laptop in there, and they were afraid. Here we go again.
This one who left the laptop? No, that was the wife. That was the other dog.
That was Hunter that left the laptop at the.
Oh, no, laptop. Yeah, but this was the one who left her diary. Was this one who left her diary?
No, that's the granddaughter. The daughter left her diary.
Oh, the daughter left the diary.
Right?
That's right. Oh my God.
Wasn't the daughter?
Yeah. And by the way, wait till you hear Clayton County Commissioner Felicia Franklin, after she got caught passing out at the bar. They've released the body cam audio and video, and that's next with the Kara Pete Flounder, 3:45. Look out.
Joshua been gone too long. Princes of the island say, cries of pain and sorrow, 'cause there's no good work today.
The Morning Extra with Tug, Rhino, and Los.
We will not be energy independent and really devalue the barrel on their side. In fact, we're increasing the number so that they're making even triple or more the amount of money they can sell a barrel for.
Okay, we did that.
We did that.
Joe did that.
$70 billion
I did that.
profits.
I did that.
And we're not talking about $70 billion over 10 years. We're talking about $70 billion a month almost.
The Morning Extra, now every morning from 6 to 10 a.m. only on Extra 106.3.
Hey folks, it's national champion quarterback Buck Ballou here. It's that time of the year again. Medicare open enrollment at Sonder Health Plans. They are your Georgia-based Medicare coverage company. They believe in good old Southern hospitality. Man, when you call them, you'll get a real friendly voice on the other side of the line, not some robot. They're Georgians caring for Georgians. So during this open enrollment period from October 15th to December the 7th, make the smart choice. Call 800-331-2928 or visit SonderHealthPlans.com.
If you have been to Chuckingham Palace, you know that we now have gorgeous double front doors. Well, Dan Watkins, the guy that put that door in, told me some interesting things about it at dinner.
Atlanta is a weird market for front doors. For 40 years, builders have been installing odd-sized side lights as part of the front door, which is a huge problem now that people realize how much better their home looks with modern and beautiful double doors. Most companies will tell you the double door installation can't be done. It can be done, and we're the company to do it, no matter how odd the opening is. Let All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors be the ones to tell you yes.
Hey, Extra listeners, it's Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly Magazine. Have you heard of Kennesaw Blueprint? If not, then you're missing out on an amazing custom design opportunity in your own backyard. Right, Susan?
That's right, Tara. I'm Susan Fitton, owner of Kennesaw Blueprint, your source for reprographics and imaging services located in Kennesaw across from North Cobb High School. We serve the architectural, engineering, and graphics community, but we also provide specialty printing services for individuals as well. Banners, yard signs, posters, business cards, stickers, even custom wrapping paper. Bring us your custom image and we'll add that special touch to all your events and holidays. There's nothing more special than providing clients with a custom printed creation.
Friends, the holidays are quickly approaching. Who on your list would appreciate a custom-made gift? Or find their gift wrapped in custom paper? Be the hit of the holiday season. Call Kennesaw Blueprint today. And remember, our town is your town at Our Town Monthly.
The biggest election coverage in the South from Atlanta's only true conservative voice. As the election draws closer and things get heated, Extra 106.3 will bring you the voices you know and trust to sort through the muck.
Where was the free speech rights when the conservatives were trying to talk?
Where was the free speech when somebody put the word Trump on the sidewalk?
Right. And stream our coverage all day from anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app.
How you doing? 3:49.
All those idiots in London.
My God. A video, Free Palestine.
All those British people marching for the Nazi barbarians.
I don't in fact, Pete's going to talk more, knows more about this British history, but coming up, they've reshuffled their cabinet and gotten rid of the woman who clearly supported the Jews.
Yeah.
The one woman and the one female, as I understand it.
Well, she's the only pretty much female of color. Yeah.
Anyways, that's coming up. But again, they're swamping. London has been taken over. And so is New York City. We're
tearing down our flag to keep their Nazi barbarian flag up.
I mean,
where the cops?
Yeah. Well, they can't do anything. We can't do that.
They can shoot them.
No, Pete, you can't punish people for hating Jewish people.
Okay, this is what they said. Everybody's talking about what they do in the 30s during Kristallnacht, and we wouldn't let this happen. Okay, remember BLM and the Antifa,
that's right.
Intifada riots?
That's what they did.
No one did a thing. The government didn't do anything. The cops didn't do anything. And we didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Well, that was the brown shirts going through.
Yeah, 1937 Germany.
So now you've got the actual anti-Jew painting Stars of David on people and making them wear stuff and accosting them on buses and trains. So now we're around 1938 right now.
Yeah. Unbelievable. All right, hold on. I'm sorry, Flounder. Play the music again. I talked over the whole damn thing. Here we go. Let's hear
this is kind of relevant to what's going on right now.
Well, it's the Eagles of Death Metal. And when I first saw this, Flounder does our music. He's our music director. And I saw this list, and I remembered when I got to the first line, the blues rock band Eagles of Death Metal were in the midst of performing a sold-out show at Le Bataclan in Paris, France. when the venue was attacked by terrorists armed with automatic weapons,
Islamic
grenades.
terrorists.
In fact, it just left that out.
Yeah, of course they did. He's British.
Islamic terrorists with automatic weapons, grenades, and explosive suicide vests. The band escaped to the Islamic Muslim terrorists unharmed through a backstage door, but 89 members of the audience were killed, including the band's merchandise manager, Nick Alexander.
If that had been Trump supporters, do you think they would have mentioned that they were Trump supporters in that
Again,
story?
the word Islam or the cause or the reason for this, not mentioned at all.
By the way, Trump's sister just died.
His older sister, she was 86, I think. Yeah, that's a shame. Was that the one who hated him?
I don't know.
There was one of his.
She was a federal judge.
Yeah, I think that's the one who hated. I don't know how many.
She was retired and well respected, apparently.
Yeah. Well, one of his. I don't know how many sisters he has. If he has more than one, if he has only one, then that was the one who hated him and wrote a book about him and hated him and said he was a rat and all kinds of horrible things. Anyway, let's see. Quick birthday while we're at it. Oops, I got the wrong thing over the birthday list. I got a thing there. The hideous Whoopi Goldberg is 68 today. Sister Mary in Sister Act. Oda Mae Brown in Ghost. Julian in Star Trek, whatever. Whoopi Goldberg's 68 is disgraceful. How did I can't watch her. Everything she said.
She did one thing. Ghost.
Yep.
One thing.
Yeah. And she was a fairly amusing comedian, actress kind of thing. But that was 30 years ago.
The Sister Act thing was old when she did it the first time.
Yeah, I know. On this day in history, 1974, Karen Silkwood was killed in a suspicious car accident on her way to deliver evidence to a reporter of numerous safety violations at an Oklahoma nuclear plant. Meryl Streep played her in the movie Silkwood. They murdered her, so they covered up the evidence.
Probably.
No question about it, in my opinion. And on this day in 1805, a butcher in Vienna named Johann George L. Eckner invented a recipe, I might have mispronounced that, invented a recipe in 1805 in Vienna, shut up, which he called the Frankfurter. The Frankfurter was the hot dog, the modern hot dog.
Now, they're saying that the guy in New York did it, so there's arguments about that.
I know. But anyway, I think he was able to use more fly legs and pig lips in his concoction than the recipe in Vienna.
Now, a hot dog is basically ground up stuff inside a casing.
Inside a casing of an intestine. Yeah.
So when you eat that, and it gets into your intestine, are you not yourself then a hot dog?
You're a hot dog yourself. Yeah, absolutely. No question about it. 354 with the Give Repeat Fly. Okay, let's play this. Georgia County Commissioner, Clayton County Board of Commissioners, Vice Chair Felicia Franklin lost her vice chair job. She was the one a couple of months ago, was out drinking at a sports bar, got hammered, claimed that somebody gave her the date rape drug. Everybody says, no, that's not true. Here, the body camera video and footage and audio has been released. Ladies and gentlemen, Clayton County Commissioner running for the chairman of the Clayton County Commission, Felicia Franklin, ladies and gentlemen.
We're all trying to help, baby. Felicia, honey, you fell down. You fell down. We want to make sure that you're okay.
No, you're not.
We want to make sure you're okay.
No, you're not.
Felicia,
Get him out of my face.
Not him.
You better get him out of my face.
Ma'am, you're about to go to jail.
I don't give a Get him out my face. You get him out my face.
So the choice is, do you want to go to the hospital or do you want to go to jail?
You get him out my face. You did not handle this properly.
We're going to the hospital. Be quiet.
Is there any way you'll have to go to the hospital because jail won't take you this drunk?
I'm not that drunk. You can take me to the hospital. Get him out my face. Get him out my face.
You gonna be out here?
Get him out my face.
Making you safe.
Get him out my face. Get him out my face.
In her face, apparently.
You call my father. You call anybody, but get him out my face.
Call anybody.
Godfather, what should I do? What should it be?
Act like a man.
Act like a man.
She's lying in a puddle of her own pee and puke.
It's pretty bad.
What kills me? We're all guilty of this. Trying to reason with a drunk person is a waste of time. Just slap them.
Yeah, just
put them in a holding tank and let them sleep it off.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, they tried to be. I mean, they were trying.
And this video, the full video is 15 minutes long.
Oh my!
And the amount of patience these people have with her.
Yeah. And again, they're spending time with her when they could be out stopping bleeding from a guy who got shot.
Knock them out. Is that drug? You got to knock them out with something to just get
Put
it
him in
over
a
with.
straitjacket and a bucket nearby, and take him to the hospital, to the drunk tank, and let them puke all over themselves until they get better.
Phone's going off because you never turned it off.
Oh, you know what? That's I don't know who this
broadcasting
is.
For 50 something. Did you used to bring in your landline and set it next to your microphone?
Yes, I did. We did not have cell phones back when.
Oh, the phone's going off again.
No.
Who brought the phone in here?
Oh, I hope it's not. The problem is I've got two medical things that I'm trying to. They're organized for the VA, and that was an out-of-state call, so it's probably one of them.
Well, why didn't you answer?
Well, because I'm on the radio, and I was a goof. Anyway, let's see. What was I? One more thing I wanted to mention about you, and I forgot what it was for
about
a second.
Me?
Well, something about. Let's see the thing. Oh, I know what I know what it was. Over the Michigan coach, Michigan football game. I know you're watching sports, all the football games over the weekend. The interim or acting or pretend or part-time, the new filled-in Michigan football coach. After the game, did you see what
he crying? And,
my God!
Like he's the victim.
Well, I mean, okay. First of all, I got 2 checks on the board today. So calling the kettle non-white, I got afraid to say because of men. Anyway, is a little stupid on my part, but still, I mean. He was bawling,
I know.
But it's like he was trying to make it like somebody won some big civil rights fight or something. Like,
I know.
Like the justice has finally prevailed for the miracle of the American people. I'm thinking, oh my God, what is your problem?
And Harbaugh's he's fighting cancer and 3 types of leukemia while he's fighting off all the NCAA. It's oh my God, you guys cheated. You've got caught. Shut up. I'm a Michigan man.
But again, I mean, so he was the fill-in coach, and they won the game against a team that he was going to beat anyway. So this is now some special thing.
He was up against the genius James Franklin, who's 4-16 against Ohio State and Michigan, who lost to a backup coach, by the way, out-coached.
I'm happy the guy feels he had a very special moment with his players and stuff like that. I mean, that's nice, but still, this was a little ridiculous.
It's bad when you have to agree with Stephen A. Smith saying Michigan playing the victim here is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get any of that.
And Harbaugh,
they're ranked number 1, aren't they?
No, they're
it's Ohio State. They're
Ohio
3rd,
State, which is ridiculous. Yeah. Georgia should be number 1. We found that out this week, and Georgia should be number 1.
Well, tomorrow we shouldn't find out. I'll bet they're back to number 1 tomorrow.
It better be.
Yeah. Anyway, the Michigan thing, I thought it was, I just made me cringe because, he was trying to make such a thing out of it. And it reminded me the other day, I've changed my mind about the way I thought about that, the quarterback who was bawling with his mother in the stands.
Caleb Williams?
Was it USC or
yes.
USC guy? And actually, when we were talking about it, I had never seen the video. I saw a picture of him hugging his mother, and so I didn't. But when I saw the video of him absolutely bawling like a little,
because he lost a game.
Yeah, that was way
over the top.
Oh, yeah, I would be concerned about
mental strength.
Yeah, about leadership and toughness.
Yes. That's a beta male type thing there, and he's not. He should be.
Yeah.
He's all the talent in the world.
Yeah, but that was really
that was
not,
weird.
Appropriate. All right. Oh my God.
You know what? His season's gone to crap since he did that Dr. Pepper commercial making fun of the number 13 and bad luck.
Oh, well, karma, baby. 4 o'clock with a Kimmer Pete and Full Under. Look out. Happy Monday.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta's Safe House.
The White House House not ruling anything out. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Biden says he'll see what they come up with as House Speaker Mike Johnson tees up a new short-term funding approach to avoid a government shutdown.
Our number one goal is to make sure that we take the best path forward for the American people. That's what we're going to focus on. But this is indeed untested.
White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre on the so-called laddered proposal that would extend some government funding into mid-January, the rest into early February. Current funding runs out Friday. Debate over short-term spending is what helped lead to the ouster of Kevin McCarthy as House Speaker. President Biden says he hopes for less intrusive action at a hospital in Gaza, where the Israeli military says Hamas has a command post.
The hospital must be protected.
The U.S. also appealing for longer humanitarian pauses in the fighting. The U.S. Supreme Court adopts its first ever code of ethics.
Facing increasing public pressure over undisclosed gifts and other financial benefits, justices at the Supreme Court have agreed to a lengthy code of ethics that includes standards for impropriety, recusal from cases, extrajudicial activities, and financial activities.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. A statement from the justices says the code is largely not new, but that they're issuing the code to dispel misunderstanding. Donald Trump Jr. takes the stand again at the Trump civil fraud trial in New York, this time as the first defense witness, testifying about the achievements of the Trump organization.
Starting with the slideshow that the defense showed called the Trump Story that laid out the history and vision of the Trump organization. He said it was probably a mistake that he and his brother Eric did not develop international properties while his father was president, but went on through most of the testimony praising his father.
Fox's Eric Shawn, the former president, calling the trial a witch hunt and the judge obsessed in a social media post this afternoon. Mixed finish on Wall Street, the Dow up 54 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
Everybody needs an edge. The other guy is working on his edge right now, whether you have one or not. Testosterone levels are at an all-time low historically, and individual T levels in men decline 1% every year with age. There's a new champion of natural testosterone boosters, and it's called CHOQ, C-H-O-Q. 100% natural herbal extracts with game-changing effects on your energy, mood, and focus. CHOQ Daily's main ingredient has been clinically studied to boost testosterone 20% in 90 days. Supercharge your masculinity with higher T and a massive boost of energy by taking CHOQ's Male Vitality Stack every day. Take the 90-day CHOQ Challenge and reap the benefits of the reigning champion of natural men's health with CHOQ's Male Vitality Stack. For a very limited time only, CHOQ, C-H-O-Q, is giving our listeners a 30% discount with promo code USA. That's CHOQ.com, code USA, for 30% off while supplies last.
Sorry, I didn't realize that close to the 403. Look out for the Killer Pete and Flounder. How's it going? Here's the number, 404-741-1230 if you want to join us. Here's the beats. Play a little Dr. Pepper for you right here.
Dr. Pepper?
Oh, that's Dr. Pepper. Sergeant Pepper. Either way is fine. I can't be held responsible. I am right. Dr. Pepper's Lonely Band. I'm sorry. My God, the Beatles are playing trombones. You got to be kidding me. Dun, dun, dun. Sousaphones, baritones, tubas. Oh, Lordy. The Beatles, 2012, the original collage that was reproduced and included in copies of the Beatles' 1967 classic Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band record. This is the collage that was reproduced, sold for $87,720. The piece was designed by Peter Blake. It was sold to an unnamed bidder as part of an auction of modern British art at Sotheby's 2012. A collage of the Sgt. Pepper. Interesting. Quick birthday, Joe Mantegna. Nice and good actor, 76 years old. Agent David Rossi in Criminal Minds. Fat Tony on The Simpsons. Joey Zassa in Godfather 3.
See, I saw that the other night. And he's so bad at it.
You can't watch that. And when they bring the guy's, the director's daughter out there, little
Coppola.
Oh, God, Francine, what's her name? Sophia. Oh, God.
A great director. She's a great director.
Wonderful entertainer. Yeah,
but an actress. Oh, Lord. You know who was supposed to do it and dropped out or something happened?
I think you told me once and I forgot.
Winona Ryder.
Oh, yeah. She would have been good as creepy. She's kind of a creepy, dark Yeah, weird. Anyway, Joe Mantegna is 76 years old. And let's see, we have an historical note here. Excuse me if I don't mind. Congratulations on this day, 1993, 30 years ago. Michelle Pfeiffer married Boston legal genius creator David E. Kelley. Today is their 30th wedding anniversary, Michelle Pfeiffer and David E. Kelley. And by the way, I will say this proudly and with great happiness. Did you see the video of Taylor Swift over the weekend when she was on stage and then she looks to her left and she gets all excited and races into the arms of Travis Kelce?
No, I did not see.
And she leaps into his arms, grabs him around the, kisses him and swirls around with him like a little girl. I swear to God, I think about that and it's
on
one of the,
stage?
On stage. It's one of the sweetest things I've ever seen in my life. It's one of the most romantic, spontaneous, sweet, loving, giving moment in front of God and everybody.
It's a love story.
Ran off this and right into his arms, leaped into his arms, kissing him. I mean, it was just, and he's swirling her. I mean, it was just, honest to God.
It's a love story we don't deserve, but we need.
I know. I make fun of me. You please do. And again, I'm sure it's my stage in life and everything else that's going on.
No, the whole world's captivated.
Honestly, I think, I guarantee you that this is Taylor Swift has waited her whole life to feel like this. Now, I'm sure she's been in love before. She said, she's had long-term boyfriends, but I'll guarantee, I can't guarantee, I will bet you that she has waited her whole life to feel like a girl who's happy and giddy and in love and letting it go, taking a chance, trusting him he's not going to hurt her. Honestly, when a woman does, you can tell when a woman gives herself that first time, when you're hugging her and all of a sudden she kind of releases a little
acquiesces.
And she's taking a chance. She's saying, "Okay, I'm with you now. Don't hurt me. I'm letting you do this and go a little farther." And at this stage, Taylor Swift is that. I mean, I think that's the sweetest. Honestly, God, I can't stop thinking about that video.
Okay, that's what you were thinking. Here's what I was thinking over the weekend. I don't know why it hit my head. It's going great now. But because he's got his own world and she's got her own, she's the biggest star in the world.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. She's bigger than Beyonce now.
Right.
She's the biggest in the world.
Yeah.
He's the biggest thing going in the NFL right now since Aaron Rodgers got her. He's the biggest thing going.
It's the biggest story. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
That's great until he retires.
Yeah.
And then he won't be the big wheel in that. He's going to find something else to be a big wheel in. Otherwise, he becomes Mr.
Swifty. Yeah.
Swift. He needs something to replace this football thing, which is going to end in the next 2-3 years.
No.
Elsewise, he'll just become the second fiddle. And can they handle that? Some guys can't.
And now, I also have to add. I mean, Taylor Swift is 33, I think,
something like that. Yeah.
33 is still young, but how many years is she going to want to be doing 3-hour shows in Argentina? I mean,
if she wants a family,
that's a whole. Yeah, I mean, at some point, and see that's what I'm getting to. I will bet you, her whole life changed for something happened to her, and she said, "Oh my God, I'm going to go for it." And something, it was a setup thing. It wasn't like she was looking for it. And those are the best, the spontaneous thing. Oh my, I'll call him, sure, what the hell, and then boom. And I'll bet you something in her clicked and she said, "Oh my God, this is, this might be, this
is." Interesting way of putting it.
Oh, well, there you go. But I'm so, I'm really, I look at that video and I think, oh my God, what a sweet, sweet, sweet thing. And, don't we all wish we had a woman climbing into our arms? And
I hope it lasts forever if that's supposed to last. I worry about it once he becomes the second fiddle and he's no longer the big honcho in his world.
Well, again, I would talk, if they're going to get married, if they're going to have family, everything. I mean, everything's going to be up in the world by then. So anyway, but again, that silly video, if you haven't seen it, I was so happy.
She could buy a team.
Yeah, she can do anything she wants.
You want a team, honey? You want to run a team?
Right.
Here.
Yeah. She was in Argentina this past weekend, wasn't it?
Right.
Or Buenos Aires?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Did you see her motorcade? It was like a president.
Really? Oh, I'm sure.
There's a huge store in the weekend.
If anything happened to Taylor Swift, well, Argentina's still, Argentina. You don't know what's going to happen in some.
They're about to get rid of their currency.
They're
in trouble.
You don't know what's going to happen. And so I thank God they have an entourage.
There was a huge story last night that supposedly Travis was with her dad in the suite or something, and he left the dad hanging because he didn't see him doing a high five.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And there was a bit, oh my God, he left dad hanging.
I don't think Dad will have a problem with that. I think he's going to be
probably hurt him if you.
Yeah. Anyway, if you haven't seen the video, it was so sweet, and it really touched me. It really, I thought it was special. 410. Okay, here's we go. Now, the world is changing. Here we go, for example, and we're going to do some wokeness here for you. The state of Washington, town of Redmond, elementary school, Benjamin Rush Elementary in the state of Washington. They decided not to have their annual Veterans Day celebration, and instead they were going to have the United Nations International Day of Tolerance. Okay, Day of Tolerance is not exactly the same as the day you salute veterans who served their country and originally who were killed serving their country. It's not exactly the same as a day of tolerance and peace and sweetness. They used to hold a Veterans Day assembly for the kids where the school choir would sing It's a Grand Old Flag. They would sing This Land is Your Land, and they would sing the national anthem. How many times these days in public school do you suppose students would be able to go to an assembly and sing It's a Grand Old Flag, This Land is Your Land, and the national anthem? This land is your land? Well, we didn't come there. You don't make us feel like this. You know what? Oh, my God. So instead, the school choir sang songs relating to the theme of tolerance, acceptance, and kindness. The titles were Live in Peace and Amani Utupi.
What?
Which was composed by Patsy Ford Sims, written in English and Swahili with a meaning, grant us peace, give us courage. The Day of Tolerance was 30 years ago with the United Nations to promote diversity, equity, and inclusion with your mantras. Parents didn't know anything about this until it was on. The district said they spent most of the time singing. Oh, the district said they told the students and the parents that it was really mostly just singing. The grade levels are going to perform songs they learned in music class. And the spokesman for the school said they would still teach about Veterans Day and honor the veterans and maybe read some letters or something at another time. But, they want to do the United Nations peaceful inclusion thing instead.
In third grade at Columbia Elementary in Decatur, Miss Berta Shaw pulled out her acoustic guitar and she taught us a lot of Woody Guthrie stuff. This Land is Your Land, the Motorcycle Song, the Pickle Song, and probably
America the Beautiful, maybe, or something like that.
But we did not ever do a Grand Old Flag. We never did that one.
It's a grand old.
Did you ever do that in school?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
I don't think I've ever heard that one sung.
But still, I mean, it's saluting.
But basically, they hate him. First of all, Benjamin Rush is a revolutionary leader. So that's part of our history. Yeah. And at that school named after him, they refuse to honor our veterans. Right. And that's who doing that? A teacher.
That's right.
Doing that.
The entire district. I mean, these are our educators. These are your forced public education camp educators.
They're communists.
Yeah. 413 coming up. Goodbye Macy's Day Parade.
And Christmas.
Yeah, and Christmas in Wisconsin is not going to be the same if you have to make everything in the color tan. Because red and green is way too offensive.
Don't let Veronica hear about this before Thanksgiving.
And Mein Kampf in the children's study room and Hamas. Yeah, we got that for you. 414 with the Kipper, Pete, and Flounder standing by.
Time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Maybe this isn't a well-thought-out commentary. I am just so full of rage against these idiot college students, useful idiots, useful to the left, useful to Islamic terrorists, useful to Hamas, and their protest against Israel. I don't have to tell you, I don't have to remind you of what these bloodthirsty, vicious Hamas Muslim terrorists did to Israel. Picture this. In one kibbutz that they raided, they had some kids and their father run into their safe room, a room designed to protect them from rocket attacks from Gaza. When these Muslim terrorists saw these people run into that safe room, what did they do? They just walked up, opened the door, pulled the pins on some grenades, and tossed the grenades in there with those children. Killed them all. They beheaded babies. They raped grandmothers. They had written instructions on them telling them to kill as many Jews as they could and to bring back hostages. Why hostages? Because they thought as long as we hold hostages, Israel won't really respond because they won't want the hostages to be hurt. Now they're being proven wrong, and the world, it seems, is rising up against Israel for protecting itself. These idiots promoting hatred of Israel and calling for a ceasefire are completely without any serious life experience. Somebody, somewhere, insert your favorite college professor's name here, convinced these children that they actually know stuff that they don't know. They couldn't pinpoint Israel on a map. If you ask them how long the Jews had occupied this territory, they would probably say, oh, I don't know, for 10, 15 years? How about 3,000? The United States and its people should not have to suffer these fools any longer. And wouldn't it be nice if the leftist media would stop giving them publicity that they do not deserve? Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
It's obvious the unthinkable is happening. With all the recent media distractions, most folks never saw it coming. But a few did. Their guts told them something very wrong was going on. And now the headlines are proving them right. The people in charge keep telling you that everything's fine and to stop noticing. But you know better. Folks are investing in emergency food storage, and you should too. My Patriot Supply, the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, are the ones you can trust. Go to mypatriotsupply.com and secure their best-selling 3-month emergency food kits. Each contains tasty breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, averaging over 2,000 calories per day. Get at least one for each family member. My Patriot Supply also sells biomass stoves, off-grid room heaters for when the power goes out, gravity-powered water filters, heirloom seeds, and survival gear that may come in handy soon. Go to mypatriotsupply.com today. It's time to prepare for what's coming. mypatriotsupply.com.
So, you conquered the hardest part. You found the one, got approval from the family, shopped for the engagement ring, and you popped the question. Nice job. But you're not done. Now it's time to plan the wedding, pick the dress, pick your tux, plan the honeymoon, and find the wedding bands. Well, you're in luck, because Wedding Band Weekend is back at Solomon Brothers Jewelers, November 17th through the 19th. Now is the perfect time to stop in and shop all of the top brands in the industry. You'll find the ring of her dreams at Solomon Brothers Jewelers. And here's the best part. During Wedding Band Weekend, when you purchase her ring, you'll get your ring for free. So don't miss Wedding Band Weekend, November 17th through the 19th in Buckhead and Alpharetta. And at Solomon Brothers, no matter the price, you'll find something nice. So visit us today on Peachtree Road in Buckhead and on Old Milton Parkway in Alpharetta. You can also shop online at SolomonBrothers.com or on Instagram at Solomon Brothers.
Yeah, baby. Somebody story. I remember the movie Major League. This was his walk-on music to go pitching with Charlie Sheen. Wild Thing by the Trogs, baby. Yeah.
Wild Thing, I think I love you. But I want to know for sure.
Yeah, Ronnie Bond.
Come on and hold me tight.
Ronnie Bond was the drummer.
I love you.
Bum, 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 da, 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 da. 1992, Ronnie Bond, the drummer with Trogs, died. They scored the 1966 big #1 hit in America and #2 in Britain with Wild Thing. And also later with a song called With a Girl Like You. I don't remember that one. Anyway, the Trogs. Also, a birthday note of 2. Let's see. Gerard Butler is 54. The star of the Olympus Has Fallen movies. He was the Phantom in The Phantom of the Opera and King Leonidas in 300.
Leonidas.
This
is Sparta! Kicks a guy into the hole. You never saw that movie?
I never saw the movie.
You've never seen 300?
Never saw it.
You would love 300. It's a man's movie.
Is that the one with Brad Pitt where he has a little funny outfit?
No, that's the Trojan War one.
Yeah.
He plays
All right,
Achilles.
300 is
300 is about the Thermopylae, the 300 holding off the Persian army, and it's very done a very stylish
like
style.
An epic kind of
it's a small epic type thing, but it really that made him a star, and he should be a bigger star. I don't know what happened, but I'm telling you, that's a hell of a movie.
Well, I know of it. I've seen it. I've never seen it, but I've seen it advertised.
The king of Persia says our arrows will blot out the sky, and he goes, "Then we shall fight in the shade."
Oh,
you'd love it.
Have to watch that.
You'll love 300.
Well, I'm going to watch that then. Thank you very much. On this day in history, bye, sweetie. There goes Amanda. And 19, I like to wave to Amanda. She doesn't look.
She doesn't look at me way back.
But she goes by. I always wave and say bye. But she doesn't look.
It's a work relationship.
No, it's just yeah. Leave me alone, sir. I think pretty much. Stop bothering me. 1998, Bill Clinton agreed to pay Paula Jones $850,000 if she would just stop suing him over the fact that he made her, to try to kiss her and wipe out of the angular dangler there of some kind. Anyway, all right, to the phones, to the news. All right, 421, neither of which we have at the moment. With a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230.
What the hell are you doing?
I don't know. There's
you have two huge stories there.
I know. I'm going to get right to both of them, too, and I've got a whole bunch of things I want to get to. Here's the deal. Macy's Day Parade. Now, I honestly, I don't think I've actually watched more than 30 seconds or a minute of any Macy's Day Parade in decades, literally. As a family, I think we used to watch it, or at least we always had it on, and it was always in the background while you're getting ready for getting ready for the Thanksgiving dinner. And but no, I mean, you always had it on.
My mother always had it on.
Sure, absolutely. Well, I remember when they used to have the hosts. And they would get the stars of various things, but it just got so bad and creepy, and they didn't know what they were doing, and I don't know, we just got. But now here we go. Almost 17,000 people have signed a petition condemning the upcoming Macy's Day Parade extravaganza. It's an extravaganza for non-binary and transgender people. Brought to you by Macy's, the Thanksgiving Day Parade. Yes, reading a petition, the non-binary and transgender extravaganza will be brought to you by Macy's unless you are they are forewarned about it. This year's holiday parade will potentially expose tens of millions of viewers at home to the liberal LGBTQ agenda. This liberal nonsense airing on Thanksgiving will feature self-described non-binary performers from Broadway musicals, like Justin Sullivan. He prefers he, she, they, and plays May, a girl in Juliet on Broadway. His page says, to every queer, trans, non-binary, or person of color in the audience, this performance is dedicated to you. He declined eligibility at the Tony Awards because the categories are divided into male and female. And he said that's not enough categories, so he wouldn't be part of it.
Then screw him.
This is the guy in the Macy's Day Parade. You're going to single out this guy as one of the big stars of the Macy's Day Parade.
Click.
There's nothing more I want to do than empower non-binary people to show that it's possible to be non-binary on Broadway. Another one, Alex Newell, a male who uses all pronouns and plays Lulu in the show Shucked. He sings the song Independently Owned, which includes the lyrics, I won't change who I've always been, a woman, a woman. I myself may not be trans, but I'm heavy on the gender non-conforming, he said, referencing his role as a transgender woman in the series Glee. He was in the TV Glee.
They've destroyed something else.
Yeah. In 2021, Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade featured pop singer Kim Petras, a male dubbed the world's youngest transsexual, for undergoing surgery with special permission when he was only 16 in Germany. He collaborated with Sam Smith, the self-described non-binary singer you've heard of, for the
Satan
song
worshiper.
Unholy. Yeah. Reached number 1 Billboard 2023 Grammy Awards. Petras and Smith performed the song in red leather and devil horns with fire surrounding them and dancers in cages. Republican Senator Ted Cruz called it evil. It was a satanic ritual at the Grammys.
That's pop culture. That's pop culture they're shoving down your throat.
Red leather, devil horns, fire surrounding him. I mean, come on. It wasn't like an accident. Oh, we got to wear this? I mean, come on, you're killing me here.
And if you speak out against it, you're the bad person.
Yeah.
Up is down?
I know. It's literally upside down.
Well, I always would be cooking the dressing that morning, and I'd have it on, like you said, in the background.
Yeah, have it
and
on
Santa
TV.
comes on, you sit there and you grab the dog, like, hey, there's Santa.
Or I might see something in the crowd. I mean,
if they start talking about this trans freak or something, I'm going to turn it off.
Well, they're going to have to. They're going to have to. It's Broadway shows and featuring trends.
I'll flick over and listen to them talk about football then.
And then let's see, the city administrator for Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. It's I'm trying to find the county area. I don't think I can have that in front of me here. But anyway, this entire community in Wisconsin has now sent a memo to city employees discouraging religious decorations over the holidays. Yes? Asking city employees to create a welcoming and inclusive environment for all residents and visitors to our buildings, as well as co-workers. And it seems Christmas decorations are commonly seen throughout public counters at City Hall, and reminds workers that not everybody celebrates Christmas. So we're asking all your departments to refrain from using religious decorations or those solely associated with Christmas, such as the colors red and green.
So tell what colors to wear.
Some neutral, inclusive decorations suggested, including snowflakes, snow people, festive lighting, greenery, and incorporation of colors like blue, green, purple, and tan. The city of 48,000, they got the email suggesting the city's policies have gone askew and there are a lot more pressing matters at hand. This girl says December's our busiest period, so an awful lot of residents show up in person to pay property tax bills and stuff. So we're trying not to make you, offend people with your Christmas stuff.
Tell them no.
Yeah. This administrator makes $190,000 a year in the little town of Wisconsin.
You've got to start telling these people, no, we're not going to do what you want.
Put up the decorations and make them take them down.
Take them to court. Sue them. Get them fired. Destroy their lives. I'm not kidding. Because they're trying to do it. They're destroying your culture, your tradition, your history. Destroy their lives. Put them in their place.
I mean, how is it possible that this official town memo is telling people to refrain from celebrating Christmas?
And what colors they can wear?
Red and green are offensive now? You can trigger people?
They're communist. Nip them in the bud.
Oh, my God.
I would love to have somebody tell me I couldn't wear red or green, or I couldn't set up a Christmas thing.
The
old Eli Manning.
428 with the Kim, Pete, and Flounder.
Will they take us off to YouTube and Rumble because I flipped two birds
they
there?
may take us off. I don't think they should take us off of Rumble and the thing there.
You may have offended the mafia.
It's very possible.
No, they love it.
By the way, Flounder, look what Flounder got me.
What did Flounder get you?
Flounder got me.
Ladies and gentlemen, now's the segment where we go back to 1978 software and technology.
I now have a box of typewriter cassette things for my IBM Selectric.
That's a good box. You
I
keep
guess
that box.
I've got boxes. I never lose a good box.
That's why your place is so cluttered.
I've got
Throw
boxes.
that away
I'm
here.
not throwing away the box. I love it.
You don't need that box.
I know, it's a good box. I could send when I send something to for Christmas up to my kids in Colorado. This would be a great packing box.
Bakery box.
Bakery box could be a wonderful thing.
Cupcakes. Muffins.
Elephant ears. Anyways, I paid him, but again, Flounder had to order them because I don't order stuff on the internet. For my IBM Selectric typewriter. It's the cassette typewriter ribbon.
Is there? Wait, let me see that.
They don't even know.
Is that made in the former Yugoslavia?
I don't care where they make it. They don't even sell them at the typewriter store. What do you call that store? Staples.
That's made in Zagreb.
Staples doesn't even sell typewriter stuff anymore. So I had to ask Flounder to find it they had to Google it on the freaking internet by some, Uncle Fred sort of typewriter ribbon company.
There's an island off Slovenia that still makes those.
This is let's see. It says,
where is it made?
To be one of the biggest and most contested of our lifetime. And as the rhetoric ramps up, count on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station to bring you the latest election news and opinions from the local and national voices you trust.
And this judge is now afraid that Donald Trump is, calling for violence again. That's nonsense.
I stand behind Trump and his ability to be able to speak about what he is being charged with because they have every right to sit there and throw out these bogus accusations.
We're proud to carry the torch as Atlanta's only conservative voice. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra 106.3 app.
That's only the Kimmer 431. I'll tell you, also has an excellent conservative voice. My buddies at Atlanta Safe House. In fact, when I bought 2 safes from Atlanta Safe House before I went down to Florida and retired. I wish I'd hauled one down there because I couldn't find my medical records and I'm getting screwed by the VA because of it. But that's a whole other story. Atlanta Safe House, when they deliver a safe to your house, they only use off-duty police, firefighters, and military to deliver the safes, which is a way that they can say thank you for your service to your community and your country by giving them an opportunity to make a little extra money as a part-time job, and also guarantees that you get a chance to say Semper Fi to somebody showing up to take care of what you want from Atlanta Safe House. And by the way, if you have a Liberty Safe and you don't like the Liberty Safe company, Atlanta Safe House will take that Liberty Safe lock and replace it and give you the master reset code, because Liberty gave the numbers to some feds, and so we're kind of upset about that. So Atlanta Safe House will take care, because they don't do that kind of woke stuff, not in the slightest. Atlanta Safe House, they have a showroom in Ackworth, by the way, and I suggest going to their website, atlantasafehouse.com, and you can see all they have to offer you. Pistol safes, gun safes, which are always on sale, by the way, really great prices, jewelry safes, business safes, high security safes. How about the Kimmer's medical records? See, live and learn. And don't keep your Social Security card in your wallet. It goes in your safe. Protect your assets. In fact, I'm not making this up. You can look it up, atlantasafehouse.com. They can actually build you a family storm shelter. Talk about being safe. Holy cow. Please tell them the Kimmer sent you. They've got what you're looking for. If you don't think you need one, you're going to find you need one right now. I found out the hard way. Tell them the Kimmer sent you to atlantasafehouse.com.
A warm embrace on a cold winter's night. The smell of cinnamon and apple cider. The flickering dance of candles in a window. And hands, young and old, joined around the table. There's nothing like being there in person for the holidays. And your Mercedes-Benz Connection RBM of Atlanta wants to get you there safely, in comfort, and in style. Come in now during the Holiday Love Celebration for great offers on the Mercedes-Benz vehicles you've always wanted. Get an exceptional offer on a 2023 C300 sedan for only $549 per month for 36 months with $44.93 due at signing, exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta Sandy Springs through November 30th, 2023. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia Lemon Law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
My name is Jamie High, and I have worked for Bruce Hagen for 14 years. Why do I work for Bruce? Because he truly cares. He cares about me, he cares about my family, and he cares about each and every one of his clients. Family is important to him, and he never makes me choose between my family and work. He values me as an employee, but also as a person. At our firm, we are all family, and I wouldn't want it any other way. I am Jamie, and I've worked for Bruce Hagen for 14 years because he's the best. Hagen-law.com.
Step into the great outdoors with Realtree, Georgia's very own outdoor company. Hi, I'm Bill Jordan, and I'm here to tell you about the incredible experiences that await you and your loved ones. At Realtree, we've dedicated ourselves to creating quality products and experiences that enhance your outdoor lifestyle. Whether you're an experienced hunter or a novice angler, Realtree has everything you need to make your outdoor adventures a success. Visit Realtree.com to discover a world of possibilities. Realtree, family, friends, and the outdoors.
It's November 13th, and this is your Fox Daily Snapshot. Today is World Kindness Day. It's really simple. Just be nice to one another today. Many studies show that kindness can be as infectious as the common cold, and the mere act of being nice to someone has more of a chance of that small act to be carried forward by someone else. Also on this date, in 1789, Benjamin Franklin first wrote the phrase, "Nothing can be said to be certain except death and taxes," in a letter he wrote to French physicist Jean-Baptiste Leroy. Today we paraphrase this saying into "nothing is certain but death and taxes." And in 1956, the Supreme Court upheld the ruling of a Montgomery, Alabama court which said that racially segregated seats on buses violated the Constitution. If it's your birthday today, you share it with the author of Treasure Island, Robert Louis Stevenson, born in 1850, and actor and comedian Whoopi Goldberg, born in 1955. I'm Tushar Saxena, and that's your Fox Daily Snapshot.
For the latest coverage of Israel at war, keep it right here on Extra 106.3 for Fox News updates at the top of every hour and the conservative voices you trust, bringing you the latest.
Immediately, the Hamas goons took advantage of the situation and blamed it on Israel, and a good rancid hunk of the American media was eager to accept that explanation.
And stream our coverage anytime on the Extra 106.
Thirty years ago, President Showers's daughter was in the Senate, and he was giving a speech about how horrible American society is becoming and the decline that's going to be ahead of us. This is 30 years ago. Listen to what he says and how he's a little different now than he was then. But also, ironically, he's talking about the conditions that he and his ilk are responsible for entirely. But this is 30 years ago, President Scuzzface.
Unless we do something about that cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without any structure, without any conscience developing, because they literally, I yield myself 3 more minutes, because they literally have not been socialized. They literally have not had an opportunity. We should focus on them now. Not out of a liberal instinct for love, brother, and humanity, although I think that's a good instinct, but for simple, pragmatic reasons. If we don't, they will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now. And Madam President, we have predators on our streets that society has, in fact, in part because of its neglect, created. Again, it does not mean because we created them that we somehow forgive them or do not take them out of society to protect my family and yours from them. They are beyond the pale, many of those people. Beyond the pale.
Yeah.
And it's a sad commentary on society. We have no choice but to take them out of society.
And by the way, some of the reactions to that now hitting social media, maybe 1993 Joe Biden should run for president against 2023 Joe Biden. Let's see. He predicted this would happen, more like he planned it and is executing that part of it. I wonder if Biden ever sees these old clips and misses who he used to be. I mean, he forgot to mention he's the main driver of all this stuff. He's power-hungry, fair-weather, spineless politician, sell his soul to legalize pedophilia if it means getting more votes. I mean, oh, my God.
He said they didn't create it. Of course they created it. The Democrats and the Great Society in the 60s, the welfare state that we were warning you, have created the fatherless homes. They destroyed the nuclear black family and created this.
When they divided America by coming up with these housing complexes where poor black people were in such dangerous conditions. The police would not even go into half of these communities because they were too damn dangerous. And what the Great Society, unfortunately, was supposed to take care of people who needed help. Instead, it allowed guys to knock up women and say, well, hell, the government will take care of her. I don't have to stick around. Bye-bye. And the lady said, well, if I have another baby, I get another $400 a month.
Yep.
I mean, it turned out to be exactly the opposite of what's supposed to be a really good motive to try to help people who needed a helping hand. But instead of saying you don't have to do anything anymore, and allowed men to say, screw it. Hell, today, isn't it still something like 65% of the babies born in the black community are single mothers? 80%, 75%?
At least 70%. It was supposed to be a safety net, and it turned out to be a way of life.
Yeah, a cushion. Yeah. And an excuse. Anyway, 442 with a Kimmer
and the Democratic senator from New York, Daniel Patrick Moynihan, warned him in 68 and 69, if you do this will destroy the black nuclear family, and it did.
And he was a serious elitist liberal.
Old liberal.
Old money, old America.
Hyde Park
type. It's just real above elitist, totally.
Smart.
And and smart as a whip. Yeah. Oh, God. All
Real
right.
quick, we got a phone call, and it's the Moose.
The Moose. The Moose is moosing. Hey, Moose, you're on the radio, man. What's going on?
Kimmer, awesome to have you about again. I tell you what, I love the show. Do you remember, now this has been a while back, the Super Bowl, and they had Prince do the halftime event?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You remember that?
Yeah.
I looked at my wife that night and I said, now you would be, I said, babe, you want to know where evil starts? I said, there it is. I said, the devil's penis right behind that shroud, and he was up there with that guitar.
Wow.
That's what it looks like right there. I said, the evil has just taken over.
Oh,
and
mercy.
Yes.
What's going on? I mean, people are taking, I guess, are we too insulated, or we don't care, or I don't know. I
think money has pretty much demolished everything. It's they sell out too fast. It's too convenient, and nobody remembers what it was like to carry the flag for real. And that's an honest statement. No, when you see the flag, you should have tears in your eyes.
Yeah.
But no.
Boy, how things have changed, huh? Moose, thanks, man. God bless America, my friend. Keep the faith and never quit. Hoorah! And off we go. 443.
And Prince is mild compared to what's said and done today.
I can't even.
Of course, early Prince is a little different than the Prince from the Super Bowl.
Well,
the first two albums, whew.
Wow. The funny thing is do you know why he called himself the artist? Like, you know how he named himself the artist?
He was mad at Warner Brothers, wasn't
he? Right, and in contracts, you're referred to as the artist.
Oh, the artist. Oh, as the third person.
The third part. I mean,
the talent.
It's like you're the talent.
Yeah.
But we're going to take everything
you're the
from
producer. You're the boy. Yeah.
No, I am director of stuff.
You're the director. You're the official CEO of everything. Everything else.
DOS.
Oh, mercy. And again, thank you for my typewriter ribbons. I'm very excited. I now got about 3 months worth of typing.
All right. How about a comedy bit?
How about a comedy bit? 444 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder.
All right. This is a guy by the name of Joe Coy. Very, very funny.
Excellent.
Asian guy.
Excellent.
Now I gotta ask my mom for help. That's the worst mistake I can make. Mom, I'm late for work. Do you know where my keys are? Joseph, did you just ask me where your keys are? Isn't that a stupid question? That is a stupid question, Joseph. Excuse me, person that does not drive my car. Do you know where my keys are? That is stupid, Joseph. Why don't you ask me where my keys are? I'll know the answer to that. Go ahead, Joseph. Ask me. Come on. Ask me right now. Mom, do you know where your keys are? Of course I do. Of course I do, Joseph. I know where my keys are all the time. You know why, Joseph? Because I put them in the same place that I always put my keys. I hang them over here, on this wooden plaque that says keys. Joseph, when you lose something, do you use your eyes to look for it? Or do you use your mouth? Because every time you lose something, Joseph, you use your mouth to find something. You can't find anything like that, Joseph. You just walk around, has anybody seen my kids? I don't know where my kids are. I wait for where, open your eyes. Look for them.
I love it. 446. It's only me with a Kipper, Pete, and Flounder. It's getting dark. No, it's not getting dark. But people are now telling on YouTube, sending messages, getting dark, Kimmer. So it's a science contest. All right, 446. Kipper, Pete, and Flounder. Look out.
Sports is live every day on Extra 106.3. And if you missed the legend, you missed this.
Virtually every government spending program out there is on an automatic spending increase every single budget. When you talk about cutting spending, these politicians in Washington, both sides of the aisles, they will say, well, the Department of Snord has a 5% spending increase built in for next year. We're going to cut that back to a 4% spending increase, and then we're going to tell the people that we're cutting spending. And this goes on all the time.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
If there's one thing the Flying Biscuit knows, it's breakfast and lunch. That's why they serve it all day. We're talking about their famous stuffed French toast, chicken and waffles, mimosa flights, and more. They even offer vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, and keto options. And if you're planning that holiday party, the Flying Biscuit also caters parties big or small. What more can I say? Fly over to the Biscuit today. The Flying Biscuit, 13 locations around Atlanta. Find yours at flyingbiscuit.com.
I feel like I need a megaphone. Attention, small business owners. Hey, it's Tug. How nervous are you about the roller coaster ride that we're on? Recession, inflation, high interest rates, and the most recent of issues, the banking crisis. If it wasn't tough enough already to get a small business loan from the mega banks, now it's going to be virtually impossible. That's why you want to reach out to my friends at First Liberty Building and Loan. FirstLibertyGA.com. The Frost family, they can say yes when the big banks say no. And now they're saying yes more than ever before. And they don't just work in Georgia, they work in all 50 states. So whether you want to buy a franchise or build a new building and you need $250,000 or more in financing fast, go to FirstLibertyGA.com. Fill out the simple form, and in minutes you'll know if you're a fit for the program. First Liberty Building and Loan have backed hundreds of Georgia businesses. They can be your secret weapon too. First Liberty Building and Loan. FirstLibertyGA.com. That's FirstLibertyGA.com.
This is Poll Paris with Fox News Director of Polling, Dana Blanton.
As large numbers of migrants continue to arrive at the country's southern border, our Fox News survey finds large numbers of voters see that as a problem, with a majority now supporting a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border. 57% favor building a wall. That's a new high, up from 49% just earlier this year. More generally, 7 in 10 think the country's border security is not strict enough. And most Democrats, Republicans, and independents describe the situation on the border as a problem, with about half of voters overall calling it an emergency. Despite the widespread belief that the border has been broken for decades, that it didn't just happen on his watch, the problem for President Biden is the situation leads to his worst job ratings on border security to date. 2/3 disapprove, including 1/3 of Democrats. It's absolutely no problem to check out our homepage, foxnews.com/poll. I'm Dana Blanton. That's your Poll Paris.
Love having a true conservative news and talk station in Atlanta? Then spread the word. Tell your family and friends to download the Extra 106.3 app and stream The Morning Extra, The Kimmer Show, and Atlanta's biggest lineup of conservative voices.
Oh, sorry. 4:50, 10 before 5. How you doing? Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, look out. This is U2, of course. 1981. Wow. U2 kicked off a 23-date North American October tour at J.B. Scott's in Albany, New York. U2, a little U2 here. There you go. See, their voices aren't strong, aren't loud enough in the mix to me.
It's a live song.
Well,
they're in a venue.
Well, then they should fire the guy who did that and get somebody else.
Well, I think October was their first album, wasn't it?
Maybe.
I think so.
1981.
This is before they ever even had production stuff. They just literally got put in a room and played the instruments.
Yeah. Well, anyway, U2's Monster Big, and this was in Albany, New York. 40 years ago, or 42 years ago. Anyway, a quick birthday note. Chris Noth is 69 today. He'll always be Mr. Big on Sex and the City, and he was Peter Florrick on The Good Wife. And wasn't he in Law and Order, or one of those? I don't know. Wasn't he one of the original
he's Law and Order.
Right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was.
Anyway, Chris Noth is 69, and on this day in history, let's see. We were just talking about this. 1942, President Roosevelt signed a bill into law lowering the draft age from 21 down to 18. 1942, because we needed bodies. And we were just talking, where we just, during the break,
somehow we ended up talking about the draft and how today's generation won't sign up.
I know what it was. I remember when you said my phone was on half an hour ago. Whatever, you said your phone's on, and I'm an idiot for having my phone on. And in fact, it was a number I didn't recognize, and it turned out there was a message, and it turned out to be, I just checked it during our break. One of the doctors from the Veterans Administration wanted to grill me about my answer, so I missed that call. So I got arranged to get that done before. I've been speaking about my medical records and AtlantaSafeHouse.com. If you want to keep your medical records and your marriage and divorce, all your papers and get yourself a safe, AtlantaSafeHouse.com. And I didn't have one down in Florida, and that's why I can't find my records. And I'll bet this phone call tomorrow when I talk to her is going to be unfortunate. But whatever. I mean to bring you into my own
real quick before we start, we got Swatoon on the line.
Swatoon, hey, my good friend, it's great to have you aboard. Happy Monday. How you doing? What's up?
Hey, what's up, Kimmer?
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm calling regarding that Secret Service shooting.
Yeah, what the heck, man? Yeah, well, go ahead.
A good part is Biden is like an emperor from the Star Wars, and he hired all the Starship troopers, so they cannot hit nothing.
I don't understand the whole. I mean, I don't know more. I haven't heard any more or seen any more information about it. But apparently,
the second is the car they were driving was red. So when they saw that, they thought it was MAGA people. So they just start shooting.
The getaway car was red, so it could have been a Trump escape vehicle. Anyway, all right, Spy 2.
Goodbye.
All right, man. Have a good one. 4:53. Again, the story is at midnight last night, the president's granddaughter? I got the story here. Granddaughter was in George Washington area, in Georgetown neighborhood of D.C., and the Secret Service agents saw three guys breaking a window of their parked and unoccupied government Secret Service undercover vehicle. And so one of the federal agents shot at the guys. And then the story says it is believed no one was struck. Well, what do you mean it was midnight last night? There's been no update on this about whether anybody got shot or not. You'd know it by now. They're not obviously not talking much about it. And the other thing, here's my couple of questions. First of all, how close were the Secret Service agents to seeing people break into their car? Mm-hmm. If they were close enough to be, 20, 30 feet, something like that, how the hell did he miss? I mean, seriously, they aren't carrying, little 22 cap pistols. They've got these semi-automatic things under their coats that have, extensions on them and everything else. These are their special weapons these guys have. How the hell did he miss? Unless he was trying, maybe he was firing warning shots. It doesn't make this clear, but I find hard to believe. And on the other hand, why would a Secret Service agent shoot a guy who's breaking a window? Is that enough of a, maybe he's afraid he was going to put a bomb in there? I mean, don't we have to find out what, I'm very curious about what the hell is going on here. And by the way, if he missed because he was too far away, then why would you be 400 yards away and be shooting at a guy breaking into your car? And by the way, 400 yards, I'm a sharpshooter, so I would assume the Secret Service agents could hit an 8-inch bullseye from 400 yards.
And in this economy.
Anyway, I don't get it. I mean, there's something weird going on here. Okay, a quick overseas thing. And we got, by the way, holy crap at sports. Oh, one more sports thing. I'm sorry.
We never did get to the 70 million.
Well, I was going to either do that or the running back.
What running back?
Well, let's do that now. And we'll do the gym. You can talk about the Jimbo thing. This is unbelievable in about 20 minutes.
All right.
I watched one of the games I watched off and on. I was out doing all kinds of stuff and my freezer died, so my food's dead. So all weekend.
Anyway, your blubber gone.
Saturday, that's right. Saturday afternoon, I'm watching a thing, and a quarterback for Alabama.
Yes, sir.
Is running and scrambling and running. He's running like crazy, and he gets tackled right in the thigh.
Yeah.
And has to leave the game.
Yeah.
Do you know why he had to leave the game? Because he got hit in the thigh?
Well,
he was wearing pads.
Doesn't wear pads, no. He's faster.
No pads.
Yeah.
My God, I can't imagine going on a football field, especially as fast as these guys are these days, big, strong, and fast, and having no padding on your legs.
It's even worse.
Or your knee. No knee pads, no thigh pads. I mean, I can't believe it. I don't think they wear hip pads, most of them. Little teeny little foam thing.
I was watching a game, and there's a guy sitting on the sideline, sitting on the bench. All right, their pants end right there above the knee, right? No pad. He had a scar.
They're exercise shorts.
He had a scar right down his knee where he had already had one operation on his knee. Yeah. Still not wearing pads.
Well, there you go.
No.
In fact, I wish I've got.
That's the school and NCAA problem right there.
Let them get
all
away
this
with
yapping
that?
about safety. Make them put the damn pads on so they're not as fast. If everybody's playing by the same rules, then there's less people getting hurt, and it's all fair.
I mean,
this is BS. Not making them wear pads.
I don't get it.
It's stupid.
And I'm going to take a picture of my old prep school yearbook in uniform. But what a difference! I mean, you look at these guys they're wearing basically those tight gym workout shorts.
Maybe something on their
those knee length.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I would have something on my knees, no doubt about it.
I mean, I couldn't. And the guy got knocked out of the game. He had to leave the game because he got hit in the thigh. I mean, well,
that's a hip pointer, man. That don't go away.
That could hurt you. And the bruising, by the way, if your thigh muscle is bruised, have fun running full speed and jig-jagging and everything.
I found out last April when I took a toss down my ice-covered rampway leaving my house.
Yes.
I fell right on my left hip, and it hurt for 2 months.
That's no good, yeah.
The hip pointer, man, that bruise doesn't go away.
Yeah. I fell several months ago. Remember, I fell on my hip. I fell on my wallet.
You fell off the horse, didn't you?
I fell off the horse. Right?
You fell on your
that didn't hurt
George Costanza wallet?
Well, luckily there was nothing in it. Yes, sir.
We have Ed on the line, and he wants to comment on your sharpshooting.
Oh, all right, Ed. Oh, God. Well, I shouldn't have said. I should never talk about me in the Marines. I'm sorry. I blew it again. Ed, you're on the radio. All right, let me have it. Go ahead. What do I deserve?
Hey, sharpshooter.
Yes, sir.
You can hit a target 8 inches at 400 yards.
Yes, sir.
You know what 400 yards is?
4 football fields.
It's 4 football fields.
It's 1,200 feet.
Okay.
And you can hit an 8-inch target.
Yes, I can.
BS.
Well, okay.
BS. Come on, man. You're still exaggerating.
Not with a pistol, with an M14.
Oh, I know, not with a pistol, of course.
Yeah,
no.
with an M14. No, I could do it all freaking day.
I'll bet you they didn't have a firing range in boot camp that was 400 yards away.
Well, I think you're going to have a little problem there, my friend.
Well, I'm going to Google.
Anyway.
Oh, you'll get your answer from the internet. Okay.
Yeah. There you go. Now we understand everything.
Wikipedia.
Well, okay. I'm not going to argue with you. In fact, screw you. I mean, I was a freaking United States Marine then, and I'm still a United States Marine, and I got the documents to prove it, and I got the badge to prove it, and I got the things as chevrons to prove it, and the stripes to prove it, and every other damn thing.
Tattoo.
And I got the tattoo right up here.
Brand.
My God. Get off my freaking back. Jeez. God, I'm not bragging about anything. I'm just saying, how could a Secret Service agent not do something that any Marine could do? 5 o'clock. I'm late.
The Morning Extra from 6 to 10 a.m. and The Kimmer Show from 3 to 6 p.m. Only on WFOM and W292EV Marietta. Extra 106.3 FM.
No veto threat yet. On Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Biden giving his initial reaction to a new House Republican plan for avoiding a government shutdown.
The president says he's not making a judgment on whether or not to sign a short-term spending bill proposed by House Speaker Mike Johnson.
But let's wait and see what they come up with.
Johnson's plan would create a so-called laddered approach, extending some government funding in the mid-January and the rest in the early February.
I don't know what the outcome is going to be.
The proposal will likely need support from Democrats in the House, as several conservative Republicans have already signaled their opposition.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Despite another possible shutdown showdown, the White House disagrees with Moody's decision to lower its outlook on the federal debt from stable to negative.
The Deputy Treasury Secretary saying this, quote, while the statement by Moody's maintains the United States AAA rating, we disagree with a shift to a negative outlook. The American economy remains strong, and Treasury securities are the world's preeminent safe and liquid asset.
Fox Business's Hillary Vaughn. Moody's is the last of the three major credit rating agencies to keep its AAA credit rating on the U.S. debt after downgrades from Fitch and Standard & Poor's. The White House urging Israel to do more to minimize civilian casualties.
The loss of a single innocent life is a tragedy.
Though National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan also reaffirms U.S. support for Israel's right to defend itself from terrorist attacks as Hamas continues to use civilians as human shields. But Indonesia's president visiting the White House is urging the U.S. to stop what he calls atrocities, saying a ceasefire is a must for the sake of humanity. 20 new charges filed against Danilo Cavalcante, the convicted killer who spent 2 weeks on the run after his August escape from a county jail in Pennsylvania. The charges include burglary, theft, and trespassing. He had already been sentenced to life in prison for killing his ex-girlfriend. America is listening to Fox News.
Everybody needs an edge. The other guy is working on his edge right now, whether you have one or not. Testosterone levels are at an all-time low historically, and individual T levels in men decline 1% every year with age. There's a new champion of natural testosterone boosters, and it's called CHOQ, C-H-O-Q. 100% natural herbal extracts with game-changing effects on your energy, mood, and focus. CHOQ Daily's main ingredient has been clinically studied to boost testosterone 20% in 90 days. Supercharge your masculinity with higher T and a massive boost of energy by taking CHOQ's Male Vitality Stack every day. Take the 90-day CHOQ Challenge and reap the benefits of the reigning champion of natural men's health with CHOQ's Male Vitality Stack. For a very limited time only, CHOQ, C-H-O-Q, is giving our listeners a 30% discount with promo code USA. That's CHOQ.com, code USA, for 30% off while supplies last.
That's a big Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right flank. Ready on your dog, target. Sharpshooter. Road guards out. Stand by. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. With Pete Davis and Flounder at the controls. Nice to have you aboard. Here's a phone number, 404-6 741-1230. 741-1230. If you'd like to call up and call me a liar and a loser.
Liar!
And, by the way, we're going to get it. We got some international stuff here and political stuff. We got some stuff to do. And the mugger lady talking about the hero and wish he didn't have a gun and the migrants were up. Anyway, we got a whole bunch of stuff to. And earlier today, if you just joined us, we're going to play a little bit later on. Not only Holy Crap at Sports and Pete Sweet stuff like that, but the comments from the Clayton commissioner lady who said she was slipped a Mickey, but obviously was not. You're going to hear her talk. I mean, it's pretty funny. 504. But Pete, let me ask you this. Speaking of messages and stuff. You forwarded me a message that somebody had sent you of a religious nature. It was very. It was a lengthy and touching and personal message about belief in the future and what happens when we die and stuff like that. Did I get the impression that he said I'm not going to go to heaven?
No, he was giving you the recipe to going to heaven. He was,
but it sounded like
very
I
nice.
didn't have it. Like he said,
it sounds like you don't.
Yeah, you're not, Karen. No, you're not going to be going to heaven because the recipe is you can't do it. And I'm going, whoa, no, wait a minute.
What did we say earlier in the show off the air? The reason you weren't going to go to heaven. Yeah, that St. Peter's going to tell you, no, you missed it by that much.
Well, I know. I can think of two reasons.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it.
No, yeah, because I went to sleep again for another week. But the other...
three reasons. You killed a man once.
Well, it was... I'm
on Ambien.
Nobody can prove it. So far, there's no evidence.
Killed a man with a trident.
Well, it was, I thought it was a dream, and it could have been a dream. Anyway, no, we got to take a for us. All right, 404. I don't know what I was going to say.
You're going to hell.
741. But the good news is I was in the Marines, and so it's in the song, Guarding Heaven's Gate. When Marines don't die, we go to hell and regroup, and then we go guard Heaven's Gate. So they've got to let me in, but St. Peter's going to say I'm working every weekend and every holiday.
They don't let you in.
No, I'm on the outside.
You're at the gate.
Yeah, but I'm there, at least there.
That's good.
It's a little cooler than... Oh, sure, I don't get all the fun, happy stuff.
All right. Girls first. Barbara.
Oh, we have a phone call?
Yes.
Now, Flounder has to get him on. Barbara, how you on the radio? Hi, Barbara, how you doing?
Hi, Kimmer. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm just great, sweetie. It's good to talk to you. What's up?
Well, I just wanted, this is a couple of weeks ago when you were talking about, you were ranting and raving about you couldn't remember things.
Yes.
You put things down. Yes. Yeah. Well, I'm in that same category with you. and I blame it on little small people running around hiding them. Because I will find the item and then I'll take it somewhere else and then it's gone. I mean, this goes on all day long. It drives me crazy. I mean, anything, a screwdriver, a box of Kleenexes, it doesn't matter.
And it just disappears, ends up somewhere else?
Yeah. It disappears, and then it'll come back. I mean, I don't know.
It reminds me, and I haven't thought about this, and I don't know, forever, I guess, but I remember that I read a story about someone proving that the old theory of pennies from heaven is real. I mean, the theory is that you find a remembrance of penny to remind you of something from your loved one. And pennies from heaven as a symbol or a signal.
I like that.
And I think that's who knows.
Yeah, I know. Who knows?
Well, anyway, all right.
Real quick, I just want to comment about when you start talking and your words aren't coming out as fast as you want them to.
Yeah.
And you start going crazy.
Yeah.
I'm there also.
It's you and me, baby.
That's it, Kim.
All right, sweetie.
You
all right,
me.
kiddo. It's all right, doll. Thank you. 508 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder and our friend Barbara. Now we have
Baker.
Baker on the radio, man. What's going on?
Brother Kimmer,
yes, sir.
It's obvious that gentleman who called you about not being able to hit an 8-inch bull in how many yards was comparing you to the United States Army instead of the United States Marine Corps.
That's very possible. There's a slight difference, but I don't want to say. I don't want to say anything. I talk about me, and I always get in trouble and get picked on and everything else. So. Anyway, thanks, man. I appreciate it. 508.
And John wants to talk.
John's on the radio. John, I really appreciate it. Happy Monday. What's on your mind, sir?
Hey, Kimmer. That last caller pissed me off. We
We actually shoot from 500 yards, not 400.
Oh, really? Well, I don't think I'm.
Myself, so,
there you go. Well, yeah. See, that's that's the thing. And by the way, who will ever forget your first trip to the rifle range? And when they make you actually do the work and the rifle range duty when you're on there for the week or whatever it was. I don't know what it is now these days. But you have to serve a term of working in the pits where you bring the targets down. You see where the holes are from the bullet went through, the shell went through the round, and then you put the little sticker on and stuff. And you have to work those pits. It's really, the whole thing is really, really exhilarating and exciting. And 500 yards, there you go. Were you a sharpshooter expert, or what were you?
Yes, sir. Expert.
Excellent. Outstanding. Now, did you also qualify with a pistol? I never qualified with a pistol, but I always wanted to for some. Oh, did you?
I did.
Yeah. And by the way, people don't understand. If you're shooting a .45 caliber pistol, chances are that anything over about 50 feet is pretty much hit and miss. So
you're just shooting into the air.
Yeah, you're just, and do they still teach the theory that when you're shooting at an enemy, you're not quite sure where he is? Always start low. Always make sure the first 3 shots go boom, boom, boom from the ground and upwards, so that they can see the rounds coming at you. That was what they taught us back in 1966, anyway. I don't know. Might be a little different. Hey, Semper Fi, my friend. Thank you. Is it John? Did I get the name right?
Yes, that's correct.
Thanks, John.
Thanks.
God bless you, sir. Semper Fi and oorah, my friend. 510 with the Kipper, Pete, and Flounder. Yes.
Now you got to do a show.
No, I'm fine. Everything's fine. And I got my. I got to talk to my the VA doctor tomorrow, so that's all good. A quick overseas thing. Israeli officials are horrified that they have found in a child's room in the Gaza Strip, the Hamas territory, in a child's room, which is used as a base by Hamas terrorists. They have found an Arabic copy of Adolf Hitler's Mein Kampf. The terrorist had highlighted portions of the book, including in his own words. It starts with the words, it ends with the Jewish blood in the streets, unquote. The terrorist wrote notes, marked the sections, and studied again and again Adolf Hitler's ideology to hate the Jews, to kill the Jews, to burn and slaughter Jews wherever they are. This is the real war we are facing, unquote. Originally published in 1925 when he was in the Bavarian prison. We mentioned that the other Friday on the radio, I believe. Mm-hmm. It's an anti-Semitic manifesto, Jewish peril, Nazi ideology, 387 pages, translates into My Struggle, Mein Kampf. Distributed also by North Korean ruler Kim Jong-un to his top officials as a leadership skill program. And by the way, a couple of quick things here while we have just a second. I'm going to put on my Calabanga shirt and see what I'm doing. Today we got one more thing. Okay, here we go. The Babylon Bee made a point, and we're going to talk about what's going on in London here shortly. 80 years after Hitler's failure, the Nazis have at last seized London. Yes, Hitler's dream has finally come true, said John MacDonald, watching as Piccadilly was overrun with Nazis. You just know that somewhere Hitler is looking on today and smiling, as chants of death to Jews and final solution rang through the London air. Longtime Nazi leader Joseph Schmidt was overwhelmed with joy after so many decades of being an outcast here in Britain to now watch Nazis march through the heart of London yelling, "Gas the Jews." Well, it brings a tear to your eye, said Mr. Schmidt. I've had to hide my swastika flag for years, but no more. We're going out for a triumphant walk right by Buckingham Palace. Yeah, and that's a Babylon Bee. And one more thing, by the way, speaking of the phonies who are now coming out of the woodwork, actors are back to work Thursday following the end of the historic 188-day strike that prevented them from participating in film, TV, and chasing helpless starlets around casting couches. Workers who participated in the strike, as well as anti-Semitic pro-Hamas demonstrations, have begun again cozying up to the Jews once again in hopes of finding work. I hereby disavow everything I've ever said online for the past 4 weeks, Hollywood actor Mark Ruffalo posted on X, formerly Twitter. Israel is not a genocidal monster, like I suggested. I've reflected, and I want to apologize for my hurtful actions. I didn't even know what from the river to the sea meant. Please, somebody give me a job. And Mark Ruffalo has now since deleted the comment. Yeah. I mean, what a bunch of freaking, unbelievable.
Yeah.
And what's happening in London? I saw a video this weekend of just overrun.
Despicable. Great Britain. The cops were beating up and bloodying the people who showed up with Union Jacks to support their dead war heroes, and they're basically escorting veterans, concierges for the Nazi barbarians.
God.
And they're Nazis. Let's kid ourselves.
Yeah.
They're literal Nazis.
Yeah.
We've been called Nazis for 6 years over here by the left. Now that they're faced with real Nazis, they have no clue how to handle it.
The British Empire. I mean,
they're ashamed of it now. They're ashamed of it. Their history and everything. They've been told to be ashamed of who they are.
Well, now, we got.
And they have a lot to be ashamed of, but not everything.
Yeah, well, we have to do we want to do Holy Crap at Sports. I can't wait to talk about Jimbo Fisher and the Falcons and how I jinxed them Sunday afternoon. But also, Pete's going to give us a little lesson in what the hell's going on in British Parliament. Also about this whole business, and we're going to talk about muggers and heroes and guns and the people who came to America illegally and now say we want to go home. We don't want to live in Chicago in the wintertime on the street. And New York, we don't want to be here either. And now they want to go back. They want tickets to go home to Venezuela. 5:15 with a Kipper, Pete, and Flounder. Look out.
The Morning Extra is the right way to start your day. And here's what you missed.
There are tens of thousands of protesters in France. There are tens of thousands in other countries. Why don't you get on a plane and go right to Gaza and sit, and why don't you give them help? Why don't you go tell Hamas enough's enough? Exactly, because they're safe. They're in their little, I'm in my safe space.
The Morning Extra, now every morning from 6 to 10 a.m. only on Extra 106.3.
Hey, it's Lowe's, here with Rhonda Duffy of Duffy Realty. And Rhonda, you've been saving Atlanta homeowners tens of thousands of dollars over the years on one simple premise. Why would you pay more for the exact same service?
So I went to the hospital to get a CT scan done, and they have you fill out a form that says what it would be if they charged your insurance, which is an option that I have. But what it would have been was $6,800 versus $410. Now listen, I didn't get a lesser process. I still got the top machine, the doctor who read it, but that's a huge gap. But we're dealing with that with real estate commissions. Our process is not a lesser commission. We're still dealing with the same forms, the same MLSs. It's all the same. So the question is, just because you choose to pay more doesn't mean you get more. That's why Duffy Realty was built. That's why we're so successful. Money matters.
So when it's time to buy or sell your next home, visit DuffyRealtyATL.com.
DuffyRealtyATL.com.
When you own a business, you know where you're going. But there's always one question on your mind. How do I get there? With Piedmont Bank as your banking partner, your business has the support and financial expertise to bring you clear answers to that question. Because the heart of Piedmont Bank is built on professional insight, experience, and personalized financial solutions. So let's start a conversation and get you to wherever there is for you. Find a location near you at Piedmont.bank. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
As the longest continually operating franchise in Major League Baseball, the Atlanta Braves have plenty of history to share with fans. Tours of Truist Park are offered year-round and take guests behind the scenes to areas normally off-limits during games. With artifacts and exhibits distributed throughout the ballpark, it is a definite must for any Braves or baseball fan. Visit Braves.com/tours to purchase your ticket today. And along with exclusive tours around the ballpark, you can also host a private event at Truist Park. Corporate meetings, trade shows, team building events, birthdays, rehearsal dinners, you name it, Truist Park can host it. Their dedicated staff is sure to bring your vision to life. Whether you're looking for a large space or something more intimate for your next event, there's a venue to accommodate your needs. Visit Braves.com/events for more details. Atlanta Braves Baseball for the A.
Black men are the most likely Americans to die from lung cancer, and black people develop the disease earlier in life than others. Federal guidelines have nearly doubled the number of black Americans eligible for lung cancer screening. Insurance companies are required to cover these tests for those ages 50 to 80 who smoke or used to smoke. If that's you, talk to a doctor about lung cancer screening. For more information and to find a screening center near you, visit acr.org/mylcs. That's acr.org/mylcs.
Furnished by American College of Radiology.
The Kimmer Show is live until 6 p.m. and Extra 106.3 has the rest of your night covered with Jesse Kelly up next. Fox Across America with Jimmy Fallon at 9 p.m. and The Guy Benson Show at midnight. All live on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Yeah, look out, 519. And coming up with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, I have a sports birthday and 3 sports historical notes. Oh, boy, but now the real fun stuff. And Jimbo Fisher, holy cow. Holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis.
Somebody's already put a photo up of Jimbo Fisher in a Mississippi State jersey. But anyway, everybody needs constants in their life, Kimmer.
Yes.
Everybody needs a touchstone they can always count on, something that will always be there for them. Mm-hmm. For some people, it's their mom or dad, their family. For some, it's a close friend, maybe a workmate. Mm-hmm. But for Atlantans, the one thing we can all count on, the one thing that's always there for us, rain or shine, the roof open or not, year after year, decade after decade, our constant is the Atlanta Falcons blowing a close game to an inferior team by finding new and unique ways to lose. Yeah. And you helped it along yesterday, did you not?
It's my fault.
We all have been there. It's not your fault, Kimmer.
Well, I never do this. And Sunday afternoon, I texted Pete and Flounder and I said, okay, what the hell? I'm going to watch the last 2 minutes of the Falcons game because they were going to win by 1 point.
Sure.
And so I'm going to watch the last 2 minutes of the Falcons game. And
sure as
boom.
Shinola. The Falcons may suck, but their suckitude is something you can rely on as always being there, like a sunrise or herpes. A last-second field goal by the Cardinals is enough to beat the Falcons in Arizona, 25-23 to fall to 4-6. They missed a chance to tie the Saints for top spot in the NFC South. Let me remind you, they have the weakest schedule in the NFL, and if they don't make the playoffs, he needs to be fired.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding. I don't want to hold out another year. I don't want a Rich McKay type decision where you don't want to fire him. At least interim head coach Arthur Smith finally got Bijan Robinson the ball, though, on the goal line. What did he do? Yeah. He scored, just like he did at Texas. This genius, it took him, 9 games to figure this out?
Look at the moves he made. He made a couple of zippity things. I mean, he's a star.
Yeah. Arthur Smith got out-coached again, by the way. Taylor Heineke left the game with a hamstring pull. Desmond Ridder came in, and he played well. Mm-hmm. Put a spark in the team, except on a 4th and 1, where he looked like he was Lonnie Smith on ice skates out there. Couldn't get it. And his Matt Ryan impression by throwing short of the end zone has gotten tired, too. How many times have we seen that?
Get to the line,
from a Falcons court. No, you got to throw it in the damn end zone.
Yeah.
But anyway, Drake London, a circus catch. I don't know if you saw it. Amazing catch. I mean, it's one of the best of the year. But for the second straight game, a quarterback who had not played for a while ran circles around their offense. Dobbs did it with the Vikings the week before. Kyler Murray, yesterday, had not suited up since game 14 of last season. He looked like an all-pro.
Yeah.
The Falcons' D made him look like his Heisman Trophy winning year back when he was in Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. So they have this weekend off before New Orleans comes to the Benz the Sunday after Thanksgiving. So they have 2 weeks to figure this out, or he's going to get fired. The Falcons now have the 10th pick in next year's NFL draft, by the way, which isn't going to be the same. It's going to come up and down and everything. But once again, if it's below 10, it's a mediocre, and it's not going to help that much. Yeah. They need a quarterback.
Yeah.
By the way, can I interest you in the Broncos at the Bills tonight?
Well, of course, my family's in Colorado, which would be now. But I wonder what's going on with the Bills. My family's playing tonight. Yeah. I used to. I don't like the AFC. I don't know anything about the AFC. But I like that Bills quarterback guy, and they were, and I thought they were going to do some good stuff. But I don't know what's going on with it.
Well, the window may be closed.
Yeah,
that's a sad thing up there. But hey, I don't know what the weather's going to be like today. But Peyton and Eli's worth listening to on ESPN too.
Are they still fighting? Did they?
No, they've kind of quit the fighting thing.
Even you were upset about when they really did.
Peyton was yelling at him, and he was mad.
You can't do that. No, you can't do that.
Anyone else want to argue with me again that Bryce Young is the better quarterback than C.J. Stroud? I haven't heard a lot of people making that debate anytime lately.
I don't think Bryce is better than C.J.
Stroud. The Texans are a winning team with C.J. Stroud. He's an MVP candidate.
Yeah.
He is good.
He's already said to rookie. I mean, he's unbelievable stuff he's done already.
Unbelievable. Adam Schefter of ESPN reports that 5 teams won a game yesterday with a field goal with no time remaining in regulation. That's the most ever in NFL history in a single week.
That was surprising.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Ken Rosenthal, the Athletic, who never lies. In fact, I like Ken Rosenthal. That's a joke.
Yeah.
Says Braves President of Baseball Operations Alex Anthopoulos says they will pay top dollar for a free agent starter if that's what it takes.
If that's what it takes, then they're going to do it.
Meanwhile, reporter John Morosi, and he tweeted this just recently, says Shohei Ohtani is intrigued by the possibility of playing for the Atlanta Braves because he wants to play for a winner. And the Braves are poised to be a winner for a while now.
Boy, well, I wonder if he's going to be able to pitch again.
No. He'll be 2025 before he pitches again, and then I don't care if he pitches as long as he's hitting.
Yeah, but if he could get a straight pitching, I mean, he's so good. Oh my God!
But that's a lot of money.
I know
that's a lot of money.
Well, what we get $100 million a year? I mean, $80 million a year.
More than that.
I mean,
well, they were talking before his injury, 500 plus. He's not going to get that now, but still. The Astros hired their bench coach Joe Espada to replace the retired manager Dusty Baker. I said last Friday right here that I hoped Ole Miss could keep it within 17 points of Georgia.
17 of Georgia, yeah.
I should have said the Rebels would only score 17 points. So after spanking the number 9 team in the country, Kirby Smart turned his gaze to Tennessee. His Bulldogs will play the Volunteers on Saturday. Now, Coach Smart did not know when Halloween was, said he was working. Mm-hmm. He did not know who Miley Cyrus was and didn't know anything about a wrecking ball.
Right.
But one thing he does know, or 2 things, Dolly Parton. Kirby says he knows of Dolly, and he knows she will be at the game in Knoxville on Saturday.
Well, there you go.
So there.
Excellent.
Georgia opens up as a 3-point favorite against Alabama in the SEC title game. That's going to be a doozy of a game.
Wait a minute. Our football?
What are you talking about?
Well, I say that again.
Georgia is a 3-point favorite already over Bama in the SEC title game.
Only 3 points?
Alabama's come on like gangbusters. They're looking good.
Well, but
that's going to be a great game.
They look to me. I saw a little bit of that game, and they're still doing stupid things.
All right. Well, then you're going to put your money on Georgia.
I never bet because I always lose.
Okay. By the way, clean old-fashioned hate. You know what that is?
I'm getting familiar with it again. Yes.
That's Georgia Tech game.
Oh, well,
clean old-fashioned hate.
Right.
Prime time on ABC.
Oh my!
Yeah,
Georgia Tech.
Yeah, now hopefully
for them.
Georgia Tech they'll pick one of the weeks that they show up.
Yeah, well,
be nice.
Hopefully.
As predicted here before the season began, Texas A&M has canned head coach Jimbo Fisher. Yeah. They will pay him $73 million American to sit on his arse and scratch.
How is that possible? You can't. That's
priorities.
It's just ridiculous.
Our priorities in this country are completely out of whack. That's one thing to pay a man to work. It's another thing to pay him $70 million to sit on his butt.
Well, I mean,
for years.
First of all, the decision to pay him that kind of money over that many of years, knowing that it may not work out 2 or 3 years after he signed the contract, you can't have that kind of money in limbo.
They were already wanting him to leave Florida State. He was already on the downhill slide in Tallahassee when Texas A&M hired him. So you could see this coming. So of course,
$73 million to not coach. And if he gets another job, he can keep the money, I think, can't he? Or he doesn't have to give it.
It depends on the contract. Yeah. I don't know what he's got going there.
Oh, my gosh.
Please hire him at Mississippi State.
Yeah.
We've beaten him 3 years in a row. Please hire him at 3. Anyway, of course, the lazy sports writers like Pete Thamel immediately have Lane Kiffin going to College Station. Just immediately. It's got to be Kiffin. No. Just like they had him going to Miami and Florida State and LSU and insert your college name here. Other sports writers have put out lists that don't even mention Lane Kiffin on them. So that shows none of them know. They're just guessing. They have no clue. He may end up with the Aggies. That's a lot of money to turn down. I believe he's going to Alabama. He wants Alabama. Whether he gets it or not, who will know? Dan Lanning at Oregon is also on the list, too, to replace Nick Saban at some point.
That's a good
So
program.
We'll see. Let's see. Other coaches being bandied about for A&M, including Lanning. The Detroit Lions coach, Dan Campbell. He's not going to leave the NFL.
Especially now. The Lions are playing pretty damn good. In fact, somebody said they're going to the Super Bowl. One of the guys over the weekend said they
won. They beat the Chargers. They're not a lock.
Well, no, but he said that they're going to be in the playoffs, and they have as good a chance as anybody right now to win. The AFC, whatever it is, and get to the Super Bowl.
NFC,
the thing with the Central Division. St.
North,
Louis,
NFC
Cincinnati,
North,
same thing.
NFC North,
NFC North,
or Well, the one with the Bears and the Packers, wherever the hell that is.
It used to be the NFC.
Jeff Traylor of UTSA, which would be a good choice. The man knows Texas, and he knows recruiting in Texas. He'd be a good choice. Mike Elko of Duke, I think he's a little too overweight. And Urban Meyer's name has come up again.
Really?
Urban Meyer.
I thought he was done for the
the NFL he's done.
Yeah.
College? Well, we'll see. Jimbo Fisher went 45-25 at A&M. His predecessor, Kevin Sumlin, won 6 more games with only 1 more loss, with a lot less money in the payroll, and coached a Heisman Trophy winner.
Well, they're paying the money. I mean, they must have the deep pockets. They don't care.
No, they don't care. It's A&M, and they're not even Texas, and they got deep pockets.
Yeah.
They're not even the Longhorns.
Not oil money.
At least it looks like the human weasel, Bobby Petrino, will not get the part.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny.
Good.
My apologies to any offended weasels out there. Mississippi State fired head coach Zach Arnett before the poor man could even finish one season. Arnett replaced Mike Leach, who died suddenly of that heart attack at the end of last season.
That's right.
And San Diego State coach Brady Hoke will retire at the end of the season. It's his second stint with the Aztecs. He also coached Michigan, Ball State, and Tennessee for a couple games. A lot of people forget that. And Arizona State.
Yes.
Athletic director Ray Anderson has resigned after the bad coaching hires and being a lifetime dick working for the Falcons and Disney. What a jerk. He was.
Hey, try to hold down, all right.
That's all right. He was a bald-headed.
I don't blame you at all, sir. You're absolutely you are correct, sir. 5:30 with a Kipper, Pete, and Flounder on 106.3.
With international conflicts running hot and Israel at war, you can trust Extra 106.3 to bring you the latest breaking news throughout the day and the conservative voices you trust for all the latest.
Hamas is a terrorist organization, and anybody who supports the terrorist attack on Israel should be released from this country and sent away.
Israel at war, with live updates all day.
If 9/11 happened to us again today, I wonder what the hell the reaction would be.
From Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
I think it's time to get rid of that old, ugly garage door.
Get rid of it? All it needs is a quick repair. Where's my duct tape and WD-40?
This is Dan Watkins with All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors, and let us be the ones to tell you if you need a repair or a replacement. If you have a wooden or uninsulated steel door, a replacement will always pay for itself with energy savings. But if your door is insulated and not very old, put down the duct tape and let us come out to service your door the right way. Head to allfourseasonsgarages.com or give us a call today.
True Prep on Cobb Parkway is your one-stop shop for emergency preparedness supplies, including freeze-dried food, water filtration, first aid, and more. They also have a large selection of firearms, including a huge selection of AR-15s, firearm accessories, and ammo at the lowest prices around. They are locally owned and operated. You can visit their store in Marietta on Cobb Parkway or online at trueprep.com. That's TRU prep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow at True Prep.
So, you conquered the hardest part. You found the one, got approval from the family, shopped for the engagement ring, and you popped the question. Nice job. But you're not done. Now it's time to plan the wedding, pick the dress, pick your tux, plan the honeymoon, and find the wedding bands. Well, you're in luck, because Wedding Band Weekend is back at Solomon Brothers Jewelers, November 17th through the 19th. Now is the perfect time to stop in and shop all of the top brands in the industry. You'll find the ring of her dreams at Solomon Brothers Jewelers. And here's the best part. During Wedding Band Weekend, when you purchase her ring, you'll get your ring for free. So don't miss Wedding Band Weekend, November 17th through the 19th in Buckhead and Alpharetta. And at Solomon Brothers, no matter the price, you'll find something nice. So visit us today on Peachtree Road in Buckhead and on Old Milton Parkway in Alpharetta. You can also shop online at SolomonBrothers.com or on Instagram at Solomon Brothers.
Central Heating and Air Conditioning wants you to know the start of the new season is the perfect time to ensure your home's comfort for the fall and winter. Don't wait like most people do to have your HVAC system serviced. Your home should have maintenance twice a year. Maintenance helps keep your furnace running at peak efficiency and extends the life of your equipment. Turn to the experts for your system's maintenance at 770-GET-HEAT or centralheat.com. Plus, Central Heating and Air Conditioning can fix what ails your house and possibly your family with home ventilation and air quality products. Central has packages designed around health using variable speed, fresh air ventilation, air cleaners, air purifiers, dehumidifiers, and more. Carrier products, carrier warranty, and carrier peace of mind. Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert since 1947 and one of the few second-generation locally owned HVAC companies in Atlanta. Call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com.
For the latest coverage of Israel at war, keep it right here on Extra 106.3 for Fox News updates at the top of every hour and the conservative voices you trust bringing you the latest.
We'll give them up. You stop the bombing. No. We're going to continue the bombing until you give them up.
To negotiate in any shape, form, or fashion would show vulnerability.
They're negotiating from fear.
And stream our coverage anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
5:34. How's it going? It's only me. Oh, it's only. Kim Repeat and Flounder there. The Ledster, the Zeppelini. 1978, Led Zeppelin scored their 7th British #1 hit soundtrack double album. The song remains the same. Peaked at #2 in America. Tracks recorded at Madison Square Garden in New York in 1973. This was 78. This has got to be their biggest song, right? Even I know this one.
One of them.
No, not their biggest song.
Well, I'm saying their biggest, but it's one of their.
What was their bigger song?
Steermaker was a big one. Stairway to Heaven, yes.
Oh, they did that one? Oh, I was thinking that was the Stones.
Oh, wow.
5.
Things you don't say on air.
Good night, everybody.
I'm 5:35.
What we have here is a failure to communicate.
And now some of the stuff I didn't get to when Pete Davis was doing Holy Crap at Sports. When's your next Holy Crap at Sports podcast?
Real late tonight,
Wednesday?
early in the morning.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. When I get around to it.
Don't forget what you got to the thing here. Some sports information for you, including a sports birthday. I'm not sure which name to use. Ron Artest or Meta World Peace. Either way, he's 44.
Yeah.
Meta World Peace, Ron Artest, the former NBA star, started the brawl with the fans in Detroit back in 2004 when he was with the Indiana Pacers. And they had a big old brawl, and that was a famous thing there. Meta World Peace. Also in the state, Pete, hold on a minute. I'll keep my things on the thing here. 1995, Greg Maddux became the first major league pitcher to win 4 consecutive Cy Young Awards. Unbelievable, 1995. And those are those years when, 1991, Roger Clemens won his 3rd Cy Young in the American League. And one more sports thing here. I got it here somewhere. Oh, there we go. 1982, Ray Boom Boom Mancini regained his WBA lightweight title by knocking out Duk Koo Kim in the 14th round. Kim was knocked unconscious, rushed to the hospital, and died. 4 days later, Boom Boom Mancini killed the guy in the ring and got his crown back. Not that he, was cherishing the crown. Anyway, okay, at 5:37 with the Kim Repeat and Flounder. Let's see, a couple of things. Oh, one more sports thing I mentioned. I watched a little bit. I didn't really watch much of the game. I was working last night. Sunday nights I tend to do, I work on the stuff for the show on Monday, but I also have the Sunday night football game on in the background for a while because there's nothing much on the news at 8 o'clock at night, Sunday night. Anyway, and they had the game last night, and it was the 55th anniversary of the Heidi game.
Yeah.
Now, for those who, Flounder, do you know what the Heidi game is? Was he back there?
No, he's not back here.
Oh, he's not back there?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you doing a phone thing? I'm sorry, I didn't know. I
was cutting up a promo. What now?
Do you know what the Heidi game is?
The Heidi game?
Have you ever heard of the Heidi game?
No, I have not.
Football, the Heidi game. Okay, see, this is the generational cutoff. I love doing this.
Is this NFL, I assume?
Yes, it is. Now, see, again, I thought you're 43?
45.
45 already? Oh, my God. But again, okay, the Heidi game was in 1968. I remember this because I remember where I was. 1968, the famous playoff game, was it the Jets and...
it wasn't a playoff game. They would not have cut away from a playoff game. It was a regular game.
Anyway, it was an NFL football game, and NBC cut away at the very ending when there was going to make the determination of it was a final field goal or a catch. The winner was going to be determined.
One of them came back in almost a miracle finish and won.
Yeah, and nobody saw it because they cut away to the movie Heidi. 55 years ago. Last night.
Yeah.
And I remember where I was in 1968 watching it in 1968. Well, what happened last night was about the Heidi game, NBC brought in the actress who played Heidi 55 years ago, who's now 89 or whatever she is. And this old lady in a little Heidi costume says, well, I'm responsible for you not seeing the ending of that famous game in 1968. So tonight we've decided we're never going to do that again. So you're going to see the whole game no matter what. Ladies and gentlemen, it was pretty smart. 55 years ago. And I remember 1968.
It showed the power of the NFL.
Yes, it did.
It showed in television in the NFL.
And they changed everything after that.
Oh, yeah. Never did that again.
No, sir.
No.
I don't think so. Ay. Anyway, that was pretty cool. And see, was there anything else I had in a sports thing for you? I'm trying to remember another thing here. No, I just made another note to myself at 5:40, by the way. And again, I mentioned it earlier, and I can't get over it. If you haven't seen the video yet of Taylor Swift on stage at her concert in Argentina, whatever it was, when she turns and sees Travis Kelce off in the wing, and she jumps up in the air and leaps and races over to him, sweeps herself into his arms, puts her arms around him, is kissing him like crazy. And it's one of the sweetest, most spontaneous, happiest, romantic, honest, sincere, loving moments I've ever seen. I mean, it was just, especially being, Taylor Swift, who is the most powerful or important or well-known female personality in the world, and I mention it because she's acting like such a girl, and I bet you anything that this is the first time in her life where she said she's just enjoying being a girl and being happy and being girly. I mean, being girlish, honestly. She's been in business for so long, since she was 14.
Hope it lasts.
Yeah, I hope it does too. But even if it doesn't, this moment, I'll bet you this is the first time. Now, she's had lovers before. I always thought she lost them because she was a virgin that she didn't want to put out, but she was always busy. I thought for a long time. Anyway, so she's had lovers before, but I'll bet this is the first time in her life where she said, "That's it. I'm just going for it, and I'm just going to let it all go." And I'm happy for her. I remember that feeling. And if you've ever done it for the first time, where you've said, I'm vulnerable, don't hurt me, here I am. God, this is so much, all of it.
What if you're one of her former lovers, boyfriends, who basically she just raked over the coals and wrote nasty songs about? Do you call this guy up and say, be careful?
No. In fact, one of her lovers, I read this story, is called her favorite boyfriend, her best ex-boyfriend. And he was one of the guys who was with her for a couple of years or something. But again, I'm thrilled. I'm happy for her. And it brings back, actually it makes me feel better about a memory that I can cling to that, is something you should experience once in your life. And if you haven't done it, then
So you've run across the stage and jumped up into the arms of an NFL player.
I know, NFL player. Well, it was Steve McMichael with the Chicago Bears, and
wasn't the one who pinched your ass?
Yeah, well, that was Walter Payton who goosed me. Hey, I got goosed by Walter Payton on a practice field in Lake Forest, Illinois. I'd say that's a pretty big bucket list thing that a lot of people don't have there, mister.
There were rumors.
What do you mean, the rumors? I was young. I needed the money.
It was Chicago.
Springtime. It was cold in the winter. 5:42 and a Kevin Pete and Flounder. All right, here we go. And we were debating about doing this story.
Yes, sir.
And finally, in fact, Pete and I talked about it. And then Flounder, as I was going in between the rooms in the booths here, Flounder said, "Hey, did you hear the story about this Colorado hike?" And I looked at Pete, and Pete looked at me, and I said, "Yeah, we looked at that." And then Pete said, "Well, you didn't want to do it." I said, "I didn't say I didn't want to do it. I thought maybe you'd want to do it, but now I want to do it because now I'm positive you just want to put another freaking check mark on the Killer Crate list." Here's the story. Rich Moore, 71 years old, from Pagosa Springs, Colorado. Hiking up Blackhead Peak, a mountain just east of his home. He started off in August and never returned. Rescue teams were sent out with a helicopter just below the mountain peak, moved west looking for him toward the trailhead where they found his car parked. Search and rescue teams were unable to find him. That was in August. October 30th, a hunter in the peak discovered the body of Rich Moore, 71 years old. And next to him, since August, was his dog, his Jack Russell Terrier, Finney.
How does the dog survive that long in Colorado? Because they had like 12 inches a couple weeks ago.
From August.
What did it live on? Uh-oh.
Apparently there was no evidence of...
Uh-oh.
No.
Now we know why he didn't leave.
The team couldn't find him. Eventually a hunter found him. His white Jack Russell Terrier, Finney, was found alive next to his body. Stayed with him the whole time. It was so steep we were inserted in by helicopter. He was found a couple of miles east of the mountain top beneath where we were inserted. His cause of death yet to be determined. The dog was taken to a veterinarian and has been reunited with the family.
That's just amazing that a little dog like this survived.
And by the way, it's 12,500 feet.
That's amazing.
You can't breathe that high.
71. He's up there by himself with his dog?
Yeah.
That's not smart.
Well, he's a well-known hiker, but still, that's
not smart.
And by the way, how could you not have some kind of a communications device, smoke flare or something?
Maybe he fell. Maybe he tripped on the
Could
dog.
Have tripped to his head. Who knows? I mean, who knows? Anyway, his dog stayed with him from August 19th to October 30th.
Okay, that dog had to be eating him.
I can't imagine.
What else is going to live on at 12,000 feet?
A Jack Russell Terrier.
Since August?
If there's a rodent up there, that rodent's dead. A Jack Russell Terrier, they're ratters.
I don't think there's a lot of
mousers.
rats at 12,000 feet.
Well, I would rather not think the freaking dog is eating the guy. My God. I guess we don't have to worry about me crying on the list anymore, do we? I think you're trying to save me from crying on the list, because if I talk about the little dog, he's staying with his dead daddy and just snuggling to try to keep a dead body warm. Instead, Pete says, he's freaking eating him, man.
Break the tie, Flounder.
He was eating them.
Did he eat him or not?
No.
I think not.
What? Right. Bull.
Barry, dogs can live on all kinds of. They can live on.
He could eat roots.
12,000 feet.
Well,
was he going to eat a mountain goat?
Yeah, God.
Maybe he did. Maybe he did. Maybe he did.
Cruel, heartless bastard. 546. Give her feet and Flounder. My God, man.
His name was Nipper.
Jeez.
Start your day with live and local conservative talk with Tug, Rhino, and Carlos Medina on the Morning Extra.
Do you ever know that person, whether it was middle school, high school, even into college to a lesser extent, who would do somebody else's homework for them?
Yeah. I had people that had to do that.
I did it.
I had to get people to do my
hot chicks. I did it.
All right. And typically, the hot chick didn't really care that much. All right?
No.
The hot chick, whatever, didn't really care.
Yeah.
We are that person when it comes to Iran. Please just like us. Please. I'll do your homework. Mm-hmm. I'll help you with your laundry.
I'll send you pounds of money.
I'll drive you wherever you need to go. And the Iranians go, that's great. Thank you, as they pet us on the head and go about their business.
The Morning Extra. Now every morning from 6 to 10 a.m. Only on Extra 106.3.
Hey, Extra listeners. It's Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly Magazine. Have you heard of Kennesaw Blueprint? If not, not, then you're missing out on an amazing custom design opportunity in your own backyard. Right, Susan?
That's right, Tara. I'm Susan Fitton, owner of Kennesaw Blueprint, your source for reprographics and imaging services located in Kennesaw across from North Cobb High School. We serve the architectural, engineering, and graphics community, but we also provide specialty printing services for individuals as well. Banners, yard signs, posters, business cards, stickers, even custom wrapping paper. Bring us your custom image and we'll add that special touch to all your events and holidays. There's nothing more special than providing clients with a custom printed creation.
Friends, the holidays are quickly approaching. Who on your list would appreciate a custom-made gift? Or find their gift wrapped in custom paper? Be the hit of the holiday season. Call Kennesaw Blueprint today. And remember, our town is your town at Our Town Monthly.
Hey Atlanta, it's Mark from the Safe House. You've heard me talk about fake safes, and while that's a really bad way to secure your valuables, you want to hear something that's even worse? Kamala Harris is president. Wow, let that sink in. That'll make you want to throw up. Well, there is good news. The Safe House has the largest selection of safes in the Southeast and some of the best pricing and rebates on safes this entire year. Secure your valuables in a quality safe from the Safe House. Drop by our showroom today or go to AtlantaSafehouse.com. That's AtlantaSafehouse.com.
My name is Amy Risley. I have been working for Bruce Hagen for 17 years. When I first started, my boys were 4 and 6, and whenever I needed, Bruce allowed me to bring them to our office. Bruce has always treated us like family, and 17 years later, I still love coming to work for Bruce Hagen. Just recently, a friend told me they hear Bruce talking on 680 The Fan. They asked me if he was as nice as he appeared to be on air. I smiled, and without any hesitation, answered, he's even nicer in person. I'm Amy Risley. I work for Bruce Hagen. Let Bruce Hagen work for you. Hagen-law.com.
Normally on the morning show, we talk to everyone, but right now I want to talk to business owners. Hey, it's Tug. Do you need $250,000 or more to fulfill a dream of growing your business? Buying a building, building a building, buying out your competition, or buying into a franchise? And look, all the banks, they're in turmoil right now. They're afraid to do anything or loan to anyone. That's why you need to consider my friends, the Frost family, at First Liberty Building and Loan. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com today. Fill out the simple form and see if you're a good fit for their program. See how they can help you, even in these crazy economic times, to grow your business. FirstLibertyGA.com. The Frost family have been helping businesses since the 90s. If you've got an opportunity, if you've got an idea, find out if First Liberty Building and Loan and the Frost family can help you achieve your goal. Make your dream come true. The banks aren't going to help, but now you have a secret weapon. The Frost family at First Liberty Building and Loan. FirstLibertyGA.com. That's FirstLibertyGA.com.
Step into the great outdoors with Realtree. Hi, I'm Bill Jordan, and I'm here to tell you about the incredible experiences that await you and your loved ones. Nothing brings families and friends closer than the great outdoors. At Realtree, we've dedicated ourselves to creating quality products and experiences that enhance your outdoor lifestyle. And did you know, Realtree is proudly based right here in Georgia. Our roots run deep here, just like our passion for hunting, fishing, and everything outdoors. Whether you're an experienced hunter or a novice angler, Realtree has everything you need to make your outdoor adventures a success. From an assortment of gear and apparel to expert advice and tips, we've got you covered. Visit Realtree.com to discover a world of possibilities. Whether you're planning your next hunting trip or looking for the perfect fishing spot, Realtree.com has all the information you need. Realtree helps you connect with family and friends and make memories that will last a lifetime. Realtree, family, friends, and the outdoors.
Stream the Morning Extra, The Kimmer Show, along with Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck, Jesse Kelly, and our entire lineup of conservative voices on the all-new Extra 106.3 app. Download it now for Apple or Android.
Look out. It's only me. It's on the Kimmer with Pete and Flounder, 551. And the Melody Maker announced British dates for the first major punk tour with the Sex Pistols and the Ramones, along with the Talking Heads and the Vibrators and Chris Spedding. 14 dates, part of the Newcastle City Hall tour in November, never took place. 1978. Sex Pistols.
Sex Pistols, North American tour. First place. Great Southeast Music Hall, I believe, here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
They played maybe 1-2 songs. I don't even know if they got that far. And someone spit on them. They started a fight, started spitting on the crowd. The police came in, broke it up, and that was the end of the tour.
That was way
That was the end of the tour.
Well, you call yourself the Sex Pistols. 552. Birthday, quickly, Tracy Scoggins. I don't know this person. 70 years old. Monica Colby on Dynasty and the Colbys.
Huh.
Tracy Scoggins, 74. And a quick historical note. My eyes are going, man. 1969, they called it the March Against Death. An organization to end the war in Vietnam had a mobilization committee and brought thousands and thousands of protesters to Washington, D.C. and took over in this day in 1969. And in 1940, Walt Disney releases Fantasia, the worst horror movie ever made, not a commercial success, but now considered a heinous, disgusting, disgraceful vehicle to scare the crap out of little children forever till they never get over to the movie Fantasia.
Did you cry? Was it the dancing hippos that got to you?
It was the brooms got out of control. When the brooms
It was
started,
Mickey Mouse.
I'm telling you, the brooms got out of control, and it made me freaked out.
I tell you what. When we were kids, Columbia Elementary.
And it was like the music or something. I would say, man.
They brought us in to watch movies every once in a while in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
And they played Pinocchio.
All right, sir.
I didn't see Pinocchio again. That was like third grade.
Yeah.
Didn't see Pinocchio again till I was about 40 years old. And I'm sitting there watching it, and the scene came on where the whale swallows them. I'd forgotten.
I don't even remember that.
It's Orbo or whatever his name was, and I forgot. That scared the crap out of me as a kid. I had nightmares of whales swallowing me.
Really? I'll be damned.
And I saw that again, and it was like traumatizing at age 40. Going, holy cow! That's why I didn't like whales when I was a kid. I love whales now, but back then it was like
kidding. That's funny.
It's scary.
And you hadn't thought about that in 40 years.
No, I'd forgotten that's where I saw it.
Wow. Pretty interesting.
What scared you, Flounder?
That's one of those things where you can't stop thinking about it the rest of the day either.
Yeah.
Which one? The whale or the
horror movie? There's a movie called The Gate. It had Stephen Dorff in it, and it was just an awful horror movie about demons, and they came under from the backyard, and the gate was so scary. And about 3.5 weeks ago, someone on Twitter posted a picture of it, like, remember this one? And I was like,
thanks a lot.
there was one that Kim Darby. Remember Kim Darby? Wasn't she in True Grit?
Yeah, True Grit, the original one.
There's one where she was in a house.
Glenn Campbell, yeah.
And there was this little bitty creatures about this big, like gnomes or something, that lived in this house, and only she could see them. And at the end of it, you think it's going to be a happy ending. No, at the end of it, they knock her over the head, they drag her down the stairs, and they drag her into a fireplace. And the fireplace had no floor. So it was just a big hole, and they drug her into the hole, and that was how it ended.
Oh, my God.
Awful.
Did you see the Stephen King movie, the cat eye or something? There was 3 short stories in the movie. No. One where the cat was stealing the breath of the kid.
Oh.
No.
And but it wasn't a cat. It was that little creature from that movie, looked just like it, was coming up to kill the baby. And the cat was there to save the baby by jumping up and going after the. And the thing had a knife and was stabbing the cat.
My God.
Oh yeah,
Jeez.
Cat's eye or something. Yeah.
I'll make sure not to watch that one.
Oh, my God, man. 556 with the European flounder. President Stupid Face has done it again. He was at the White House. Yeah, do you have that bite real handy?
Let me see.
President showers with daughter. He was welcoming the Stanley Cup winning Vegas Golden Knights from last season. And Vice President Carmela's side piece, America's favorite shiftless and lazy companion to the stars. He was saluting the Stanley Cup people. And do we find that thing there, Flounder, or not? Don't worry about it.
He's efforting.
Well, no, we'll get do the girl one. We're going to play in a second instead. Don't worry about it. Here's the president, Stupid Face, said this. President Harris is here to make sure we do this the right way. He called her President Harris again. And he's not being funny.
No.
He's not being funny. I mean, this is how many times have we said that? And again, yesterday, not just last week, but yesterday, David Axelrod, the former chief guy to President Puttitat, the divider-in-chief, said Biden's public remarks are a major concern for Democrats because he's being in mental decline. And he proved it again today. He called her President Harris.
And the Veterans Day thing.
Oh, my God. Did you see the video at the podium? He's walking around and doesn't know where to go.
No.
Having somebody, please tell me where to go. He doesn't know where he is, what to do.
And the Marine, wasn't it a Marine that was pointing where he
over here, sir. God almighty. And by the way, speaking of the divider-in-chief Putty Tat, and remember just the other day he said, well, there's no clear winner really in the Hamas and Israeli fight. Neither side is clean of the entire issue. And today, Vice President Carmela Sidepiece just said, with all the protesters going on, she says, well, let's remember they have the right to protest. They have the right to protest. These Hamas-loving, Palestinian-loving Jew haters have the right to protest. So she made it clear that the White House is, they have the right. Yeah. Golly, unless you're a Republican, if you ever, you're
against a shot.
Yeah, innocent until proven conservative.
By the way, Bill Maher raked Obama over the coals.
I didn't see it, but I heard.
We should play that tomorrow. We should play the Bill Maher going off on Obama.
Yeah, unbelievable. And before we leave, let's play the Clayton County Commissioner. Yes, the fabulous Felicia Franklin. The video and sound now has been released of her passed out, puking on herself and wetting her pants and claiming she got the date rape drug. And instead, she was just howling at the moon because she was hammered. Ladies and gentlemen.
We're all trying to help, baby. Felicia. Honey, you fell down. You fell down. We want to make sure that you're okay.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
We got to make sure you're okay.
No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're
Felicia, this is Patty.
Bye, Felicia.
Get him off my face.
Not him.
You gotta get him off my face.
Get him off my face.
Sounds possessed.
I don't give a Get him off my face.
Yeah, you do.
You get him off my face.
So the choice is, do you want to go to the hospital or you want to go to jail?
You get him off my face. You did not handle this properly.
We're going to the hospital. Be quiet.
Because when you have to go to the hospital because jail won't take you this drunk.
I'm not that drunk. You can take me
You're
to
so
the hospital.
drunk you can't go
Get
to
him off my face. Get him off my face.
Be out of here.
Get him off my face.
She's too drunk to
Get
fish.
him off my face. Get him off my face.
Oh
You
my
call
God.
my father. You call anybody. But get him off
Good
my
night,
face.
Felicia. Boys, have a great one. Well, I gotta go. You're killing me with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Tomorrow we do it all over again. Hoorah, Semper Fi.
This is WFON and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Locally owned and heard throughout Georgia on the Extra app.
A first for the Supreme Court. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. Justices adopting a code of ethics.
Facing increasing public pressure over undisclosed gifts and other financial benefits, justices at the Supreme Court have agreed to a lengthy code of ethics that includes standards for impropriety, recusal from cases, extrajudicial activities, and financial activities. The Senate Judiciary Committee, led by Democrat Dick Durbin, has considered passing a